Yeah, just in case I ever want to make a shortcut or something. We're usually live about right here. 7-second mark, I'd say. No, we've been live for 6 seconds. Oh, it's earlier. Anyway, hey guys, and welcome to today's stream. We're finally back with the great Ace Attorney. I should probably open the game so some music is playing. Well, the whole point is usually I have a YouTube video pulled up to play music at this point, but like by the time I open the game, it's I don't know.
When was the last time we
Now that's a great question. Oh, I remember what happened now.
Yeah, no,
No, actually, I'm kind of less aware. So how do we get to this place? Why did we come here? Oh, that's right. The dog sniffed out the oil, or whatever nonsense. Yeah, all right. I figured it all out. Mystery solved. We can close the game now. Great Ace Attorney is now finished. Yep, finally the Great Ace Attorney returns.
Finally.
Yeah, I wonder how long it's been since I last streamed this.
Not yet.
Yeah. Where I'm trying to see the last time I last streamed this. Let's see. Let's see. Game isn't up. Still getting set up. I mean, as you notice, one of our members is not here.
This is streamed 1 year ago.
No, 2 months ago. Come on, man.
2 months ago.
2 months ago. I mean, hey, scheduling conflicts. You know, people have to live lives.
It was March 1st.
Yes. May 5th is tomorrow.
May the 4th be.
May the 4th be with. I should have named my stream title based on something.
What are we doing in the Great Ace Attorney? Go download the new Star Wars Jedi game. We'll just provide commentary while you play.
You know, that game's like 2 years old now.
No, the new one that just came out?
Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order. The 1 year old?
That is brand new.
It's initial release date 2019. I don't know. Wait, did they release it really in 2019? Do you want to close that door?
What? Let's play it.
It's okay. Game audio is pretty loud relative to me.
Jedi. Fallen.
Okay, this should be much better. Oh, also this needs to be up. Sorry, I forgot about that. This much? Sorry, yeah, it's top in here. I don't know how loud I should make it.
The dog sniffed out the oil.
Yep.
Dog is.
And then the wax figure's still missing. Yeah.
But Mike barely picks me. It barely picks me up. Oh. Right there it is.
Well, I guess I can try moving it closer. But like, you know, there's only so much I can do.
I can sit
I can sit a little closer too. Alright, great. Y'all enjoying the camera setup? I hope so. Here you go. You guys can take these if you want. Don't worry about it. The Xbox 360 controller next to the Switch, next to the PC. It's all
Can we play the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles with an Xbox controller?
No, we cannot. I'm
No,
fairly
wait,
certain.
please. It'd be so cool.
No, like I literally don't think you physically can. Here, like try pressing A.
Well, not with this one, but with mine you can.
Oh wow, you can play with this.
Let's do it.
Let's go, baby.
It's so much easier than.
Start from this save game data, yes.
I don't even know what all the buttons are mapped to though. You know.
You can do it.
Oh, it actually shows what it's all mapped to. Wow,
Look at that.
They showed the
Let's
whole.
do it.
They showed
Hey,
the
you might
whole
want to
thing.
show the game on screen though.
That's true.
Oh, wow.
Oh no, it's all shoot. I don't.
Look at
I don't even, oh, and this is what's happening.
That's one of my headphones.
Okay, let us know.
No,
if
what
the-
are you doing using the mouse?
I can't close all my tabs using the
It's
controller.
a black screen, but
I know, it's because I haven't clicked on the game yet. It's fine.
it's almost like it's set to 7.
It was all set up. Oh, so on my Switch the moment you put in controller. Okay, let's see.
Let's go.
Once again, Herlock Schultz is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. I need my hat. Too far. It's somewhere under there. Towards the left side. Left side, I would imagine. No, none of those. None of those. Towards the right, I guess. It's under one of the jackets.
You know what I see?
Perfect, I'm ready. Alright, let us know if the game audio is... Let us know if the game audio is good. But for now, let's get back to the game.
Wait, why are we in the top left? Is that where we normally are?
This is where
Yeah.
we... No, that's right.
No?
Hey.
Wait, where's
Yeah,
the
we're
green
normally
screen?
here. We're
No,
normally
we're
here.
always in the top left.
We are normally in the top left.
Put the green screen on. Put me above the text.
Okay, no, not that nonsense again. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table, and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had until recently been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight down onto the floor.
Every item in the room is on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that?
I got a hat. I always forgot to bring it most of the time, but you know, we're at my place, so I have it. Indeed, the key here. Oh my gosh, I have not.
I don't have headphones. I'm sitting here not listening to my phone. Quiet.
Is gravity. Man, I have to get back into all the voices.
I told you when I was like, I do not remember a single one.
Ivans. I don't know what that's supposed to say.
Ivana?
Maybe it just says Ivans.
She probably typed Ivana.
Ivana is pretty quiet. Quite.
Quite.
All right. Well, you have to speak louder, I guess. Nothing.
Okay,
There's no
I'll talk
remedy against
louder.
We
that.
put her in the middle every time.
I
for this
will
very
talk
reason.
louder.
Literally, this is about as much as I can do. Anyway,
I'll just talk a little bit louder. I'll project.
it would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth.
That's okay. It happens to my name all the time. It's either Ivans or Obama.
Obama! Let's go! For the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality. Wow, the technology back in the 1800s is incredible.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, this is literally as close as I can get it.
Sweet. Goodness.
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. I quite understand your skepticism, Mrs. Sato. I too was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to the one featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact.
But then why does it have a clock on?
Imagine this thing is actually live. It's real dynamite. A most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that the restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, we need to look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device.
Is this how the chapter started, or did we end it in the middle of the chapter?
This is in the middle because so much was happening. You have to have, what are the goggles and the hand motions? I'm working on the hand motions. I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. The goggles are a bit much. I'm pretty sure I have to make those. It's like part of a cosplay.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to cosplay.
It is quite a fun outfit.
They can use, technically, they can now use Sherlock Holmes. He entered into the public domain. I believe it's either this year or next year.
I think it's next year for Sherlock Holmes.
The next year.
But that's
And they can use his name.
so. But there's like it's pretty
But
fun.
it's Sherlock Holmes now.
I
It's
know,
Sherlock
but-
Holmes.
It's true. But like the actual Sherlock Holmes can also be used now. But the whole point is like this trademark, right? I don't know if anything around. I'm sure a lot of things around Sherlock Holmes is being trademarked. So you can only
Still
use
use
specific.
the name.
You can only use the stuff that originally came out
Yeah.
that would get expired at this
Exactly.
point.
Which is his name.
Yeah, you can use his name. Yep. Now let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Sherlock Holmes, yes, is a real character, yep. We've been over this. Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his action is above our heads.
Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madame. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylights. Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way to this room, excepting the skylight, that is.
Ah.
School's perspective. By inverting the gravity in here, Trevor was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way.
The ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Schmidt. The gravity reversal was sudden. Wouldn't Mr. Trevor have fallen up the ceiling rather violently?
Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel, but the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape with the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope.
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylights. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. Alright, so basically he made this room for the sole purpose of escaping, probably.
Yep.
And probably has a door on the ground. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Alright, all you, man. All me, man. She's completely spellbound. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, there's just one thing that troubles me. I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life.
Savage.
The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean? I would say that with the man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. But your whole deduction hinges on it. Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. However improbable it may seem. Wow, that's like the motto for the Ace Attorney games.
Yeah.
Ah. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yes, I have a feeling I've read it in something that Mrs. Sato left me once.
Objection! Actually, there is one other thing.
Ah, the spell's broken at last.
The rope he found was on the floor, wasn't it?
Indeed it was. It was in lonely coils near the wall.
But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall?
Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find, do ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled. That argument is as circular as the coils of the rope.
I have a question, Thomas.
Alright,
Is your stream supposed to be delayed by like 4 minutes?
that's just the YouTube one. It's just
No, YouTube's delayed usually by. Oh.
it's just when you start YouTube for some reason it does that.
I think perhaps we might need to give Mr.
I know, I was thinking,
No, the YouTube has like a 10-minute delay. It's fine. It's not. We interact with chatters in real time.
I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to it.
Yes, you're right. And we must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away. You know, by the time he finished his whole spiel, I think he's gone. I think that man's
I think
gone.
long gone.
If you're ready, then let us resume. Sherlock Holmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. All right, hats off. Let's go.
Now you need a sword and an armband.
At least an armband. It's plain to see that this room is getting complete. Okay, I've heard all this. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I bet the door is just the cabinet. Oh, there's a safe number.
Oh, look at that. Was that there before?
I don't know.
I don't know.
This is a cool.
Yeah, it's cool how they did this, actually. How they may set this
Yeah.
all up.
This is new. I've never seen it.
That
Alright,
did
4,
show.
3, 2,
It did
5.
show it going on my
Yeah, it
phone.
showed earlier.
But I don't think it's on the safe.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's just the door right there.
I think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an...
But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so...
Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once.
Oh, that's unusually merciless of you, Mrs. Sato.
You have eliminated the impossible. Whatever remains must be... The great detective himself said so, didn't he?
While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices.
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Alright. Yep, time to examine each and everything.
All the furniture is here is very upside down.
Conspicuously.
Oh, no, I cannot read. My brain is so fried. Anyways, fine. Conspicuously. I can't say the
Oh,
word.
well, alright, moving past.
Conspicuously.
It's lost, you lost the chance.
Conspicuously.
Yes, it does immediately put you in mind of some strange quirk of gravity, I admit.
Could it be that a mini whirlwind passed through here?
Ah, yes, only the most logical of conclusions here. I'm not sure that's much more plausible than Mr. Sholmes' explanation.
Oh dear. Saying the first thing that comes into your head isn't the way forward.
Do they have to deduce that?
Okay?
Ah, look, Mr. Sato. When everything seems to be upside down in here, this safe is conspicuously the right way
To
up.
the ground.
Yep.
Yes, that's true. We'll look more closely at the safe's feet.
Ah, that's a lot of very large bolts fixing into the floor. Think before you speak, that's what you wanted to say, isn't it? I really put my foot in my mouth there.
I certainly didn't say that.
Interesting how that thing's actually bolted for some reason.
Can you...
That's it. This is all I can turn.
Really?
That's so quick, dude.
What's the white
I
thing
just
on the
think it's
ground?
It's just all
Oh,
part of
all part
inverted
of it.
furniture.
Oh, I guess that's just...
I think the inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part.
Did you
grab?
click on the inverted furniture?
Yeah, that was the first thing I
Yeah.
clicked on.
By the paper.
I don't know what I'm supposed to present here.
That's different. There's the different thing.
They're all inverted furniture though.
Okay.
What breaks the laws of Sholmesian's gravity theory?
But you've clicked on them. I don't remember you.
Click on the bed.
Yeah, I didn't click on them. I just
Click
thought.
on that one.
What about
Sure.
the...
It says it's the same one.
Yeah, it's all the same. Yep.
What about the flowers? The flower vase that's not broken.
Ah, this is it. This is definitely it. I'm just gonna present it.
How a
I
vase
think
of
you
the
missed
sky.
a line.
The upright base clearly reveals the. It's just changing the line that he said earlier. The upright base clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you've surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps.
Oh.
No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes. Trust me. As you rightly say, though, it appears at first glance that all the furniture in this room is upside down. This unassuming slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all! My deepest sympathies for your loss.
Oh, poor Mr.
She's
Sholmes.
tearing up. Oh my.
My dreams. But the show must go on, so let us continue with our deductions. Now that we know this contrivance is not, in fact, an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. A bomb. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Quite, and naturally there is an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity. Alright. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he?
I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong.
Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over, so whoever it was must have had a reason.
I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though.
Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself.
Oh, like the safe.
You know it's not.
Just want to look at it, man. We've already established that gravity wasn't actually reversed in here, haven't we? In other words, this isn't an anti-gravity device at all.
Which makes me very curious to know what sort of device it is.
Like they've never played a video game. Like they. It's like red dynamite, though.
I know. But I think for now it's clear that we're looking for an answer elsewhere.
Oh, not that.
Look, there's something written on the other side of this armchair.
Oh, yes. Safe 432582.
Safe, as in safe and secure?
As in secure lockable box, I think.
Okay, I don't. Maybe that didn't.
Translation.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe that didn't translate over the best. Admittedly, more likely.
Well, there is a large safe bolted to the floor on the other side of the room, so yes.
So you mean this number would let us open it?
I wonder why it's written here, though.
What am I trying to prove right now? The reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of, oh no, he's trying to find the safe code. It's just coincidence that everything was upside down. He was just looking for the safe code. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yes, last year, when I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book just in case. That's it, for people who are forgetful souls at heart, and always make a written note of important information.
Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think.
And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo? When the day of the draw came round, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in, and had to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it, for people who are forgetful souls at heart and always forget where they've noted things down.
Not if you always note things in the place.
I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I slipped the ticket into, so I had, thank you, Mr. Naruhodo, but I believe I've proved my point now. Which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one, leading to the state in which we now find the room. Man, he's turned that entire bed over? That's kind of impressive. Yes, Mr. Drebber overturned all the furniture in here in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. Wait, we're only on topic 1 still? Dang, alright.
John.
Oh yeah, where they escape to.
You know what I was thinking about?
What?
It is so risky to actually make a part 2 to a visual novel. Because you're guaranteed less sales.
Why?
Because it's part 2, so it only makes sense if you played part 1. And people will buy, a ton of people buy part 1, but they won't finish it. And so all the people who don't finish it, there's no reason for them to buy part 2. And no one would look at part 2 and go, I'm gonna buy part 2. Unless you group them together in a sale, which is what I think they did with this game, because it's fine.
When it came out in English, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these people have released 6 other
they
games
do have
before.
a following, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, normally, I feel like that is not a smart move. Because you're guaranteed less sales. Even they are.
Well, the whole
with
point
their
is,
following, they're even guaranteed less sales.
well, it's true, but the whole point is like, usually you're going to like you don't make a part 2, a part 1, part 2 of a game.
Part 1 goes.
No, you don't do that. You just make a game. You just make a game, a whole complete game, and then you make a sequel, which is probably usually you don't have to play part 1 to play.
But this is.
But this is specifically a part 2. It's specifically continuation, yeah. But I think it's because they do have a following and they have people that they'll know will play this game.
How is it different than writing book number?
Because it's like if Harry Potter ended.
Well, I think it's the same concept, no?
It's the same concept.
As
one's
writing.
no one's gonna just like, oh, I'm just gonna buy book 3 even though I haven't read book 1 and book 2.
Well,
Like
exactly.
obviously, but like
Books lose sales for how long they go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Unless the story's really good.
No
Well,
one's gonna
that
buy
no, that
book
would make
three.
there's no reason. I feel like there'd be no reason there'd be more book 3 sales than book 1
Yeah,
sales.
there's
No, I
absolutely
guess-
that
okay,
does
you're
not
right.
play out.
Yeah,
Okay,
so like
you're right.
it's always gonna go down. But the
I guess what
idea
you're
is
saying, yeah.
also you're probably as a creator, you're making something. You're
Hold on,
creating
hold on.
art.
Also,
Yeah.
sequels are different from parts. Like
That's
you
true.
can go watch Jurassic Park Dominion because it has nothing to do with Fallen Order and
Right.
nothing to do with the first Jurassic World.
I think it just
But
depends on the
if they
story.
did Jurassic World Dominion Part 2,
I'm thinking more like
No
Harry
one would
Potter.
Well, yeah, like Harry Potter, like the second book is a sequel. Well,
you're right. Well,
It's-
actually, I think the first 4 books of Harry Potter are written so that it doesn't really matter.
But it still does.
I would argue.
at least the first book, I would say.
I'd say you have
Yeah.
to read the first book, but then 2, 3, and 4 don't really have an overarching story.
Yeah, I think it depends on the story, basically. But basically, if you're making a continuing story, yeah, you're gonna have less sales the next time you publish the next part of the story.
Sorry to derail your game.
It's okay.
Well, if a change in the direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get there?
These are the content people come for, obviously.
These are the content.
I just missed that history. Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become harder to solve.
I can't think of any other way to explain it at all. Oh, life was so much simpler in those
Yeah,
wait,
halcyon
I'm not
days.
doing
halcyon
anything.
days
Let
when
me look
gravity
up
could be
some words.
reserved.
Yeah, I do not actually know what halcyon means, but that's a word I have heard. You know, I'm like,
Halcyon
no way.
days.
yeah, you haven't heard halcyon?
Maybe.
What do you mean you haven't heard halcyon? You say it like it's so normal.
Yeah,
No, I've not
that's
heard
such a
halcyon.
commonplace everyday word. I have heard halcyon. I don't remember what it
Denoting a
means.
period of time in the past that was idyllically happy and peaceful.
I see.
In those
I've
happy days.
never heard that word
Yeah, I
ever
neither
in
have
my
I.
life, period. Halcyon?
I have heard that word at least for once.
I've never heard that word and I read the King James version of the Bible. Are you kidding me? There's no way that's a normal freaking word.
It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place.
Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Holmes and observe the area and
Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us these situations in the first place. Alright. Why would there be... okay. What the fetch? This guy's throwing shoes? Oh, he was throwing shoes to get his other shoe down. Why is this original shoe up there? I don't know. It's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up here, look.
oh yes, and there are more footprints on this little balloon too. How did? Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became lodged. Do you?
If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing up shoes at the ceiling, though?
Oh dear, that's beyond me. I'm afraid.
Well, let's present it.
Take that!
Ooh. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. I'm with Thomas on this one. I've heard it before at least once. He's heard halcyon.
Halcyon?
Yep.
No, get out of here. You both heard it from like... No way, no way.
From anime, obviously, right?
Yeah, I meant from like an anime or like that Dairy Queen or something. I don't know, you know.
All right.
The halcyon days back at the Dairy Queen.
That's right. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon. Maybe he's trying to put a shoe in the basket of the balloon so it comes down.
For what purpose? Then,
Oh, it's kind of up there. A green balloon. That seems somewhat familiar data. Ah,
it was a piece of green balloon envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene.
called an envelope? That's what the balloon of a balloon, hot air balloon's called? Okay. And inside the green balloon that Master Gotts claims he saw above the stage when the incident occurred.
Developing.
I guess. Was the second birdcage. birdcage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception.
You mean to say?
If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on that day, there's a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. Have you heard absconder before?
Absconder?
That's a word that's a word I've heard before too.
I was looking up like when house
Was what invented?
well, I wanted to think of the word usage, but I can't figure out how to do it. Like where it shows you the graph of like where it was popular. It was invented in the 14th century. And then I was gonna be like, it was invented in the 14th century. But then I was like, well, I mean, freaking English is like almost 90% of all English.
I think that's a terrible. I think that's a terrible argument you're giving right there.
Because I didn't say absconder, trying to a fugitive who runs away and hides to avoid arrest or prosecution.
Right. All right. But the balloon's out of reach. Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. Ah! Most probably, Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted, and the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights.
I do think that like the whole like shoe prints being perfectly next to each other, that would just be so hard to do.
Well, you know, crazier things have happened in, you know,
I guess.
that one's at least plausible though, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there were some way we could see inside.
The human ladder. You just stack the humans on top of each other. We got 5 in here, and then throw the dog. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. You know, lasso?
Oh, the rope!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope?
Mr. Sholmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope.
Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground?
It was much easier said than done, I feel. And it could take us a very long time as well.
True. Perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? Are we actually using the crossbow?
No way.
Take that! Where are we getting the bolt from? To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow?
That was found in the scene, in fact.
And in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Drebber. If the man had only brought it away with him on that day, he could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside the balloon? I guess we just had bolts. Okay.
Heck.
Oh, is this the mannequin? What the? Oh, a waxwork?
That's the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the what was missing.
Yeah.
Indeed it is, a waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. So we can't see the face inside, that means. Oh, well, apparently that's important.
Yeah.
And where do you even get a lock like this?
Just a moment. This is the head of the
King
waxwork
stores?
model?
I guess so.
I'm just saying, well, honestly, where'd you get a mask like that? Probably at like some
Oh
King.
goodness.
This PG, I forget what rating.
You know, I think this game is M, actually.
No.
I think so. I know Ace Attorney 5 and 6 are rated M.
Why? For smoking or
This,
drug use or what?
this is unrelated, side story.
Side story.
Well, it's not Ace Attorney 1 through 6.
Great Ace Attorney Card was rated T for teen.
Okay, it's T. Okay, but 5 and 6 are rated M.
Why?
Don't ask me, I don't know, look it up.
What is the 5th game called?
Great, just look up Ace Attorney 5. Like, Dual Destinies. And then number 6 is Spirit of Justice. Yep, nailed it. Still got it.
Dual Destiny's rated M?
M.
Yeah. Dual Destinies will be an M-rated game. Period. Believe it. What?
I see you joined the
That's
dots.
it. That's the whole article.
Well, okay, well, like, why is it listed as M? Under ESRB,
The
like,
whole article is here's something unexpected. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies will be an M-rated game. Believe it. New gameplay videos released by Capcom today confirm the news in Europe. Dual Destinies will carry an age 16 rating. That's it.
That's the whole article.
Yes.
What the heck?
Wow.
Well, they just don't have much to
Sign me
say.
up to be an article writer, dude. What the? I mean, then they get like paid $10 an article, right? Makes sense.
No reason to keep it long, you know?
Yeah, sorry. I keep.
No.
No, wait. I actually want to figure out why.
Yeah. Go see the ASRB rating. See why it's listed like that. I see you joined the dots, Mr. Sato. Excellent. Ah, of course, a headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Tuspel's model that you largely saw. I found the. I think what this is actually based on, because I went to Vegas like last week,
Okay.
and like the actual place is like Madame 2. It's like starts with a T2.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I'm
it's
gonna
actually based off the place.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. Let's see.
In Las Vegas,
Yeah, it's
for
a wax.
wax.
It's a waxwork museum in Vegas.
I think I've been there.
I didn't go in, but Madame Tussauds. It's Tussauds. So they just took the last. They just took off the last part. I was like looking at it as, hey, it's Madame Tuspels, and I was like, wait, no, it's not.
The SRB claims that the animated blood and gore was too realistic for the game. Giving it T.
Oh, that's why Danganronpa's pink blood.
A lot more blood than your typical AA fare. Surprisingly disturbing scene. A lot of blood. Also reference.
There you go.
That's
But hey,
the
I'm
secret end where Athena and Apollo get busy.
no, that's not. That's no. I don't. That's not a thing. But also interesting because yeah, that makes sense because Danganronpa makes all their blood pink. It was actually because of the ESRB rating. Yep.
Can I download a mod to make it work?
I'm sure you can. But it's kind of iconic at this point. Pink blood. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing. Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Tuspels will now have to settle for her sizable account with me. This, as you now have surmised, is the head of the infamous professor. Yes,
But why is it here?
this conclusively confirmed my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tuspels and returning it,
Sante.
Sante, it's not Tete, it's Tet.
No, Sante.
Earlier today was none other than Enoch Drebber. I like how there's 5 people in this room and 2 of them have not said a word the entire time.
I know, I'm like.
This is incredible. Professor Hairbrain's case and the waxwork abduction they're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop. Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure.
The architect.
You mean Mr. Drebber? As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights. Obviously, the man must still be here in the room.
What?
Hey, Ace Attorney 6 isn't mature rated. It's only the 5th game.
Wow, that's interesting.
And they didn't expect it, supposedly. Apparently, they made the game and then they're like, what the freak, you rated it M? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, so then for the last game.
Interesting. And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this... I missed the last word. There's deduction. Enoch Drebber is right here somewhere in this room. So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Yes, of course.
Dude, they say it's spoilers. They say it's the courtroom bombing at the very beginning,
Oh.
and it's terrorism.
Mm.
They're like, yeah, they didn't. Anyway,
So now we're
sorry.
guessing
Oh, and then
Ruby
apparently
is
there's
the-
some image of a very creepy, traumatized child towards the end
Yep.
that people didn't like.
Okay.
All right, cool.
There you go.
I'm gonna put-
Terrorism and trauma, you know?
Hiding.
Oh, that's T-rated. Come on, that's.
Take that!
See?
You see that on the news? Do you not?
The news is rated M, then, I
The
guess.
News is not rated. The news is PG.
Before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in here, which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at the point in time. He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe, and pressed for time made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process, from which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber Hide. Also, like, how would they get out? Yeah.
Exactly.
Is at this very moment inside the safe. Well,
Unless there's like a
it's
special
maybe, or
thing
maybe
to-
it's just not locked. You know, like it's
That's
slightly open. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Deja
Didn't
vu.
we see someone walking out the window? when we first walked in?
No.
I don't think so.
We always thought it was the
No, not me. I want to be Anik Drebber. Well, maybe I shouldn't be because I'm gonna have like 8 people in the party. But I should be because I haven't said it.
Okay.
should-
Well, I
you
mean, you
should
can
be-
always switch characters around later too.
I don't like it.
Well, what do you want to do then?
That's like recasting characters later on. I don't like it.
It's true. So, Mr.
Just do
Naruhodo,
it, it's fine.
I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you? By opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see. The combination was
432582.
1.14596.2.
that's not even right.
It's not.
I knew that. All right,
Those
so
were
here
the
goes.
last two ones.
3.14, 3.14159.623.
No,
I
it's
said
2.
6.2.
There's
Oh.
a 2 after
3.15.
Never mind.
3.14596.2. Did I not say that?
It's 3.14159.
2.
3.1415962. Did I miss the 9?
926.
9262.
I don't know.
All I know is it's 3.141592.
3.1415962.
Uh,
Oh my gosh.
He's dead.
He's Thanos.
Found.
All right, I guess Ivana's getting taking this character.
Alright, you got it, dude. I like it.
What the heck? What the
He's a breakdancer. He's a
Whoa.
b-boy. He's doing the robot.
Oh my god.
He's so good at dancing. Wait, he's actually dancing. Where's this
There's
music?
no sound. It's so weird.
I
yeah.
know.
Right and sir, Mr. Enoch Bremer, I presume?
Correct.
You better start talking. You tricked Professor Harebrained with that bogus machine you built.
And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Tespos as well. But they would be delighted to answer your Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little person.
Deactivate?
He's in the safe to protect himself from the explosion.
Your parcel? I refer, of course. The time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position.
I like how he's not doing anything about it himself.
Ha, ha, ha. I see. Stunned silent.
It's fake.
You're all gearing up to die with me then. No!
There's gonna be a bombing rated M.
Mr. Sholmes, with only 7 seconds to spare.
That was too close for comfort.
Oh
I got
my
one foot in.
God.
Oh my gosh. I got 1 foot in the grave already.
Why are you trying to help us get a killer or get us killed?
Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
I mean, yeah, if his deduction was the way it was, left the way it was, life would have been altered. A lot of it, but specifically 6 lives. Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave.
Oh my.
The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist.
Ooh, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. What happened here? What on earth happened in here?
You've found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems.
Yeah, well, we'll be giving it a thorough going over, don't you worry, Grabber.
What fails to click with me? How you are able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. I heard whistling from the other room. I knew it was time to board. Whistling?
Ah, that would have been me.
Oh,
For some reason, I woke up in a fine
Fettle.
today. No words, just tiny squeezed chips.
clearly, I must have a screw loose though, as I couldn't remember the combination for this safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of never tried written it down.
We also found a rope over by the wall.
Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too. So I then set about searching for the combination to open this thing.
And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters. And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe, having first set this parcel ticking.
Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police.
Got a death wish, have you? Hiding right beside a ticking time bomb.
Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe, it's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it.
Well, out of curiosity, if the dynamite blew up right next to you, I feel like the impact, does it not reach the inside of the safe and you still like feel the force?
If anything, I think your head would.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, like, do you not feel the force if you're inside the safe like that? So in fact, the safe was the only safe place.
Precisely. Once you climb inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again. I invite you to look more closely. It is fitted with a handle on the side to allow it locked from
Well.
within.
Credit where credit's due.
There we go.
Ah, so it is.
I had always intended to blow this place to smithereens in any case. Wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans.
There's explosion-proof safe.
Oh. Alright, well, all you.
Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up?
No, that was unforeseen.
What do you mean?
Most people run when they see a ticking time bomb at them.
Ah,
I calculated the time required to retreat to a safe and set up the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works.
is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth? I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. But what about the two incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Harebrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition, and the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to.
That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the kid's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as a something.
I think that was still you.
Sorry. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here.
Yes, well.
Dr. Scythe again, so the forensic investigation team are here.
And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongarm knew of this, you'd be finished.
So white.
She's the vampire.
Gregson is white, but she's white.
She's vampire.
Leave at once.
I forgot the color of her skin.
She's just a vampire. Leave her alone, man. My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Scythe?
Hello, Soam.
Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe. If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression in your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell.
Get out!
But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruhodo, yes? It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But Mr. Sholmes, let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands.
I said get out, now, all of you. Your presence here is not required either, Gregson.
Understood. I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits.
That's a good point. How did she find it?
There was a time bomb set in here that this
Follow
lot
them.
disarmed.
Inspector.
Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Trevor?
Oh, so sorry. Didn't mean to offend. Quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Oh shoot, sorry. Yes, you did disarm that one.
Eh, what are you? That one? You mean? Hey, what is up with the hour and minute hands on the time bombs? Oh, gee, they're dead.
Rated M, right here. Rated M. That's M. That's M right there.
They're
I'm
just,
looking it up. Part 2 is M.
they're just exploders now.
No, they don't show anything.
Alright.
That doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It was an
Why
hour
terrorism?
later that we heard the news. In the first one, they show like the whole place like exploded and everything, you know. Of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage of the Great Exhibition, Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever.
Done it.
Finally finished the part.
I can't see. Are they... But they would have rated this combo together as.
The second game is just called Ace Attorney Chronicles 2. The combo is called The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Oh, we're back in court already.
It's T.
It's T.
Good morning to you, Mr. Naruhodo.
Ah, good morning, Professor. Ready for today's proceedings?
I am, so I should be.
Good morning, my dear fellows! Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're here! Why, naturally, a true gentleman stands shoulder to shoulder with his friends in battle at all times. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'll see you later then. Now, Professor, we really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today.
Yes, do try your hardest not to enter the witness stand uninvited again.
Yes, I will. I realize
My dear fellows, I must interject! Oh, you're still here, Mr. Sholmes. What's the matter? Surely you've overlooked some praise, have you not? To be cast in my direction, Sorry, I don't follow. Must I spell it out? I, the great Herlock Sholmes, the greatest detective of worldwide acclamation, arose at some ungodly hour to be here now. First thing in the morning, a miracle, you must agree. Well, if I must agree, then... As you know, my sleep is quite impregnable. Iris had to employ her full gamut of tactics. She pulled the covers off, shook me, poked both cheeks, punched me, and kicked me from the bed. Then she poured a boiling cup of her latest experimental blend on my face, and at last I was bestirred.
My, Iris has been busy.
Boiling
That
cup.
Full gamut of tactics. That's what I'll call 3 from now.
Oh, something to do with.
What is this? The Star Wars? We're not doing Star Wars?
So? May the 4th.
Have I never streamed before on May the 4th? I am curious about that.
May the 4th. I don't think you've ever seen it.
I have no idea.
A full gamut of May the 4th. Of May the 4th!
That's stupid.
familiar.
I don't know.
Of tactics on May the 4th.
That is so long.
May the...
Alright, just for you,
a
just
fourth gamut of tactics.
just for you, I'll name it May the 4th be with you.
That's good.
And then if I find out
May-
I've streamed before on May the 4th, I am
May the
retracting this.
4th May
May the
fourth
full,
episode
may
not
the
be.
fourth Gamut of Tactics be with you.
That is so. No, we're just gonna leave it with May the 4th be with you.
May the
Gamut of
fourth
Tactics.
season
May the fourth
of
Gamut
Ace
be with
Attorney
you.
Be better
May the
than
fourth Gamut be with you. May the
this.
fourth.
Isn't it Gamut?
Oh, damn it. I don't get a pronunciation of Gamut. I bet I'm
We'll just call it 4th. May the 4th be with you for now.
Oh.
Fine, fine.
May the fourth.
May the fourth episode be better than the third.
May the fourth chapter be with you. Is this the fourth chapter? The fourth
Is
chapter.
it actually?
May the fourth
I
chapter.
think it's
of
actually
Ace
only on the
Attorney.
3rd chapter.
It's the fourth, right
It's
there.
the 4th. I think we're actually on
Guaranteed.
Hold on, hold on.
Gamut. Yeah, well.
Gamut.
I know.
Gamut! Ugh! Now it's Gamut. May the Gamut full of tactics? That's the worst title out of all of them.
Yeah.
May the Gamut full
Can we
of
like crack the window?
tactics. May the Gamut. Gamut? Pray sense the spirit of a fellow scientist, one who relishes the infinite possibilities of blending tea.
I'm the one worthy of praise here, not Iris. This is my victory. Inspector Gregson. I don't know.
Sorry to cut in.
Oh,
I
Sorry,
told
Tommy.
you!
you're right.
I told you! Alright. Oh, Inspector Gregson, good morning. Gregson, my dear fellow, why the grim expression at this delightfully early hour?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I've been confronted with a grimmer expression, eh?
Dear me, are you going to take that insult lying down, Professor?
What? I don't know! What is going on? I don't understand that interaction.
I don't either. Poor Professor.
Anyway, here's the paperwork you asked for.
What paperwork? Ah, I took the liberty of requesting it yesterday. I have a feeling it may prove useful.
You wouldn't believe outside a jump through to get this brought out of our carts. It's the professor's autopsy report.
That mass murderers?
Who killed 5 members of the aristocracy?
No way they tie it back to that. No shut.
Of course
They were
it's all
found guilty
tied.
in a closed trial 10 years ago now. It was all done under the rug.
Of course it's all tied together. Are you
No,
kidding
no.
me?
No shot.
That's how his attorney
no
works.
shot is tied
Wait,
together.
which guy is this?
The professor is a serial
No
killer
shots
from like 10
related.
years ago.
And he was quickly
Oh,
executed
okay.
soon after the trial. It's all in here. No shot. I know they gave us a piece of evidence, but there's no shot.
I don't know what to say.
Oh, sorry.
Whoa.
You're wrong, Inspector. Yes, much obliged, Gregson.
Us lowly lot of the yard are just doing what we can in the shadow of the great detective Soames, of course.
Oops, I want to look at the court record. Let's see this new evidence we picked up.
It's nice with the controller, is it not?
Pretty similar.
Instead of you doing this. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Okay. Every 5 minutes, you know that that's true.
I guess the whole point is, yeah, I don't have to use the keyboard.
Oh, sorry, I clicked the keyboard somehow. It's...
Death by hanging confirmed at midnight, 7th of June. It's Courtney Stevens. Do we know Courtney Stevens? Stevens. Nope. Alright. Wait, I also wanted the helmet. This lock doesn't look very strong, does it? There's definitely no way you could remove the mask yourself if it was put on you.
What a terrible way to treat someone, even a convicted criminal.
I know, it's starting to make me livid, actually.
Mr. Naruto, please.
I mean, just think about it. Imagine if you had an itch on your cheek all of a sudden. You'd be utterly helpless. So this is for prisoners?
Well, yes, that's. But I'm not sure that
They
warrants
still
quite
do
so
that.
much
They still
anger.
put masks on.
Wait, why?
If you're like a violent serial killer, they put masks on. They did it with like Hannibal Lecter.
If they like bite you.
No, Hannibal Lecter's a fictitious character. They did it with, anyways, they do it. They put a mask on you because you'll bite people.
I see.
You'll
Yeah,
lash out and you'll try and
exactly.
kill people and bite them.
Alright, sorry, but they don't put like full masks.
it's like a mask right
It's
here
like
and it
a-
wraps
it's
around.
like
Yeah,
a-
they don't put on full masks.
Yeah.
They put on Bane masks.
Yeah.
I guess this is what they had back then, you know?
It takes place in the 1400s.
Is that when this is?
No, what's this? With words like clyrosis, whatever the freak the word was,
Halcyon?
What was it?
Halcyon?
It's a freaking Pokemon name. That's what that is. Halcyon, I choose you. That's totally what it is.
I saw a funny TikTok. It's like, Pokemon name or medical term? Well then, Professor Hairbrain, this is it. Today we're going to
play with you, babe, because you want to know nothing about Pokemon. That'd be so funny, actually. Okay, babe, is this a Pokemon or is this?
Wait, it'd be fun.
Yeah, but now you already know the term Halcyon, though.
That's not even a Pokemon. That's not medical or Pokemon.
With like, but isn't there so many Pokemon names that end in Eon?
I don't know.
Oh, so there's gotta be.
I still would suck at playing.
Today we're going to lay this all to rest at last.
I wish you the best of luck, Professor.
I suppose he'll be in there today, will he?
Yes, the judge is
Trevor.
always there.
Ooh, yes, we expect the prosecution to summon him as a witness.
I was actually expecting him to talk about Van Zeeks.
But Seeks.
That's what I
I'm
thought.
still amazed that you managed to find him in just one thing. I really owe you both so much. Counsel and the defendant, trial a matter of whom can't they make a way to the courtroom at once?
Make it different voices, man. No.
Yeah, apparently. This is it then, the final chapter. Funny, no, this is the fourth chapter apparently.
There's
My
no
heart's
more.
racing a little. I've not felt this before actually, this strange foreboding, as if something's going to happen in this trial that I'm not ready
I'm
for.
not. There's so much crap going in this trial. I'll be honest. I'm not ready.
I can't let that distract me from the only thing that really matters. There's so much,
Wait,
there's
you know
so
what we
many...
should do? Right now. We know nothing. How does it all tie together?
I have
just take 2
no
minutes.
idea.
How does it all tie
I feel
together?
like I've forgotten so many details.
So Trevor builds a machine. He sets it up so that he shoots the crossbow at the thing, which is what contains the real body in it. He used the fake mannequin in the
You
first
mean the
machine.
mannequin?
They used the fake mannequin that they stole to put it in the first one. The mannequin that they stole was of this killer. But the trick here is how does the killer tie back to the case? Which is what they're gonna try and do.
I'm betting that the professor's face is since such a huge deal, it's gonna look like someone that's
The professor?
it's gonna look like Enoch Drebber, I think, or something like that.
Oh, it's gonna look like the dude.
It's gonna look like I mean it's got I
It's
think
gonna look like a dude who got sacked or whatever, right? Because he has to look kind of like him from far away, right?
Yeah.
The face of the dude has got to look like the dude who died.
I mean did they have to see the face? Honestly, they just saw something launch out,
There's
right?
no way they could get away with a freaking metal head.
Well I think this was put on afterwards.
Yeah, it was.
But I mean, it still, like, it has to be relatively similar. Thomas, if I'm sitting up there, even if crowd's
The guy
250
wears
feet away,
like a hat.
If your head is on my body, and then suddenly I'm dead over there and I'm white, people are gonna make, wait, hold on. That's not adding up. Like, they're gonna know that. And even if I am 500 feet away, I'm gonna look at that and make, wait a minute. The skin color ain't even the same. The hair isn't even the same. Like,
There's no way someone notices that.
what do you mean?
No way.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
And then I don't know. I'm thinking
What's the God of War thing?
Wait, are we? Wait.
How do you know? How do you know?
what happened to the racism title
Oh, and
notification I
then
got an hour ago? I
What?
changed the title for this game all the
The racism title?
The initial title
Yeah,
was,
it was
I
racist.
bet something racist is gonna happen this episode.
Oh, that's such a good title. I didn't even know.
It's okay, let's just play, it's always just a placeholder. He's the killer. I figured it out.
I
it was
totally
him
forgot
all
about
along.
this too. Holy crap, this has so many.
It has so
different
many
parts.
different storylines coming together. So I don't honestly have no idea.
Yeah, okay, Rob, this title's ridiculous. Gamut full of tactics? It's ridiculous. I told him to name it May the 4th, or May the 4th of Gamut full of tactics.
Well, that's also just as ridiculous. Anyway, but I can't let this distract me from the only thing that matters. I really have no idea how this all ties together. I'll be honest. I also
You
don't
got
know.
any ideas,
I
Ben?
also don't know how these cases are all gonna resolve in one case. If this is the fourth case,
I bet the Little Prince ties back because it was his bloodline who was the killer all those years ago. That's how they tie it back to the prince. And I bet that the sculpture resembles, obviously, the dude who died, and he pertains to that line. And I bet that Kirby shirt, Hick Key Fire 2, though.
Hig Key Fire too. Yep.
High key.
No, pick key.
High key.
Anyways, I don't know how.
I don't think the witnesses will have anything to
Okay,
do
well,
with
who
it.
did it? How about let's just.
Who did it?
Who did
Okay.
Let's just pick that. And if
Okay.
you think it's someone who's not listed, you can say it's not listed. But who is responsible for the death? Not for setting it up, because an extra could have set it up. Who's responsible for the actual death? Because it said that he died probably before he fell. So who is responsible for the death? I'm going with the witch.
Go
Call
with
Wiccan.
the fat dude.
I'm not going with.
I'm going with. Wait, who are we going
Side.
with?
Is this pretty
No,
much
yeah, I'm
everyone
thinking the
relevant?
fat dude.
This is it. I mean, this is like the old characters. Oh, there's the
No,
dead
there's-
guy.
There's the dead guy.
There's
and
the
then
scientist.
also the scientist, and then there's him, which we know is actually
Cosmo?
Cosmo.
Maybe. You never know,
no, it's
man.
Cosmo. There's no. They hinted at it so hard.
You think it's not someone here?
I think it's that dude.
I think
I saw
it
it.
is.
I don't think it's anyone here.
Hold on. Go back to the witch. Responsible for the death? And who's that guy next to her?
Just one of the balloon people.
I don't know.
Oh,
this is
so
someone-
you think it's someone who's not there?
Yep.
You think it's someone.
Either someone that's not there or
Well, I'm gonna go out on a limb then, and I'm gonna say that it's the witch.
Okay. That's actually my second guess.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's. The
I
witch.
just don't think it could be anyone else because like, Sholmes knows this person. He's too obvious. These guys are just buffoons.
I would.
Yeah.
Finding the truth. All right. After all that,
But
after that
to,
pump
just
up
to
spiel.
say, I don't think they're there either. But I think it's lame for all of us to be like, I think it's me.
All right. It's one of the jurors.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the public hearing of Albert Hairbrain here present, who stands accused of murder. Are the counsels for the prosecution and defense ready to proceed?
Yeah, honestly, like the thing we just did with the whole examination, the whole like observation thing, feels so far removed from this case. Feels like a different case entirely. You want to turn on the fan, Matt?
You gonna start moving? Or bump my chair.
You can have it till it doesn't move, or you can just move it back. Yeah.
Air.
Press the power button. Come on,
Oh.
you turn it off. Okay.
X. Yeah.
Okay,
Look at that.
but don't do that.
Why?
why not?
It gets picked up. Oh, it
Don't
doesn't.
look like he's getting picked up to me.
Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
I mean, does it pick up in the background though? Is that what you're worried
You
about?
said it where it doesn't turn. it
Oh,
just
this is
stays
as loud
on.
as my
You just
computer.
keep it really-
Can I turn this?
Yeah, just give me the remote.
Oh, look at it out.
Right there.
Great.
Notice this? Mods? I'm gonna be so cold. You turned it down.
Well, when you get
I felt
cold-
it.
Bye.
Oh. I hate that sentence song.
Because I used to-
It's fine. Because I'll say like, hey, this bugs me, and then Ivana goes, it's fine. Oh, I'm concerned about this. It's fine.
Well, usually what it's.
No, it's
that
fine.
can-
It's fine.
That can be
It's
concerning
fine.
to both of us.
I forgot.
No,
It's fine. I forgot that.
So
it's
you're saying
fine.
you want me to turn it back up then?
No.
Yes,
No,
please.
no, no.
Oh, yes.
No, the prosecution's ready, my lord.
All right. The defense is ready, my
Switch
lord.
me, switch me. Oh, yeah, I will switch you.
Boom. Stream's over. As promised, Lord Van Zeeks has his apprentice with him.
Whoa, I
His
like
apprentice
being
with
in the
memory
middle.
loss.
I'm next to Thomas.
You're also just, yeah.
I'm loud.
The biggest thing is Ivana's quiet now.
I'll yell.
You
I'll
have,
yell.
you actually have to.
If I may, Lord Van Zeeks,
Yes, my lord.
There appears to be someone standing at your side.
Ah, yes, my apprentice and assistant. The prosecution believes today's proceedings will see the complexity of this case rise considerably.
It hits him with the wine bottle.
No way, that
no.
was sick!
He has a sword too now.
I therefore instructed my assistant to attend to ensure the smooth running of the trial. That was dope.
I would love it if like Van Zieks throws the bottle back and then the assistant catches it.
Oh,
puts
let's
it
see,
back.
let's see.
And the smooth running of liquid refreshments by the look of it.
The way he holds himself, the way he moves. It can be anyone else.
But he's still suffering from amnesia, so there's really nothing we can do at the moment.
I know, but oh, this is so very hard.
It would appear the prosecution has done a fine job in responding to the demands of court made yesterday. I understand you have successfully secured the engineer who disappeared from the scene on the day in question.
Yes, my lord. We intend to call him as a witness shortly.
Very good, very good. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this courtroom today, are you ready and willing to proceed?
Of course, my lord. I'm sure we all understand the importance of doing our civic duty.
I do so despise deception and deceit.
Why are you
I find
taking
it
all the
so
jurors?
wearing.
To take a man's life. I'm just kidding, you got it.
To take a man's life with a conjuring trick, it is against the magicians. There's a magician's code about taking a man's life with a conjuring trick.
Wow.
Not to mention the law. That's the most important part. This was your guy.
Any faith plaintiffs will feel the wrath of God if you ask me.
You have to listen to what's being say on both sides and settle on one. That's it, isn't it?
Wasn't like this in my day. Wasn't like this at all.
Get 3 people. I
If
get
all
one.
parties are ready to proceed, you may begin, Lord Van Zieks.
Before I do, my lord, there's a report I must read to the court. Yesterday, at the Great Exhibition grounds, the evidence of primary importance in this case, the super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine, which was installed on the experimentation stage, was deliberately destroyed in an explosion effected by an unknown person or persons.
It was what? An explosion.
Is that outrage?
Just the old fogies commenting, apparently.
I like the old man voices.
Yes, I heard this grave news yesterday. Scotland Yard submitted a report to my office in the evening. I read that the machine was blasted to smithers and the wreckage reduced to ashes in the flames.
I have here a photographic print of the scene, taken in the wake of the explosion. It shows what little remains of the machine.
That's a terrible business.
Look, it's a trap door.
Yeah, we found
I think we knew that was there already.
Yeah, I thought so.
He did it to destroy the evidence, did he?
That. Hey, Trevor.
The court will take this print as evidence, counsel.
This explosion photograph has been added to the courtroom record. Late yesterday afternoon.
Man, you really missed speaking, didn't you?
I did.
After all those, after not having any lines, you smelled all of them.
Yep. The protection afforded to the machine by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act was revoked. However, before a thorough investigation could begin, the invention was obliterated from existence. As such, this will become a very different trial.
You know, it is interesting how he blew it up, because if it was, I guess he's trying to hide that it's fake? I don't know.
As it stands now, with no evidence on which to draw meaningful conclusions, the authenticity of the kinesis machine will remain forever in obscurity.
Indeed, a most unfortunate state of affairs.
However, one thing remains clear. The victim's death was the result of the actions of the accused. Of that we can be certain. For it was the accused himself who was operating the machine and who ultimately caused its loss of control.
Objection!
Objection! As Lord Van Zeeks rightly says, this is a very different trial now. The accused accepts responsibility for his part in the events that transpired. He acknowledges that Mr. Asman died as a result of the accident caused by the machine's malfunction. However, unbeknownst to the professor, he was being deliberately deceived by a pair of very clever fraudsters.
Names, counsel, if you please.
The engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, and the victim himself, Mr. Odie Asman. So what exactly were these two men up to behind the defendant's back? The defense intends to expose that information, thus establishing the unequivocal innocence of the defendant.
Thank you, counsels. The positions of the prosecution and defense have been clearly stated. Lord Van Zeeks, summon your first witness, please.
At once, my lord. The prosecution calls the engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to the stand. Beep boop bop beep. I am Mr. Drebber. State your name and occupation for the court.
Name, Enoch Drebber. Occupation. Hard to pin down, I would say.
See that black monocle?
Why do I feel as though I've seen it?
Your file indicates that you are currently being investigated in connection with another case. The theft of a waxwork model, is it? Something about stealing business. A most extraordinary sounding business.
But that has no bearing on this trial, I assure you.
Project, babe.
But that has no bearing on this trial, I assure you. Cleave it from your mind.
You're familiar with the public experiment carried out at the Great Exhibition some days ago. The accused super high voltage instantaneous kinesis demonstration.
Yes, you could say that. I am aware of it. It was a terrible accident, wasn't there?
It was you, Mr. Drebber, who constructed the vast machine used in the experiment. Or so our investigations indicate. Can you confirm your involvement?
Yes, I constructed it, in precise accordance with the blueprints, but that's all.
Then the court would be very interested to hear your thoughts about the machine, I'm sure.
An amazing device, if you ask me. Pinnacle of modern science, making instantaneous kinesis a reality at last.
What?
Good gracious! Do you mean to say that the experiment was bona fide? Is that your bona fide? Is that your belief, sir?
Yes, that is very much my belief. Such a waste that it blew up.
Objection!
Objection! But we've already established the machine was nothing more than a prop for an elaborate conjuring trick.
Objection!
You've established nothing of the sort. All that was shown during yesterday's proceedings is that the same outcome could have been produced by means of staged trickery. The defense merely proposed a method and demonstrated its feasibility, nothing more.
But...
We've procrastinated long enough, I feel. Witness, you will now give your formal testimony about the machine that you constructed for the purpose of a demonstration at the Great Exhibition that was located downtown South.
Understood.
Sorry, he was just going so in depth on the details. I just figured it. Get ready for speaking.
I met the young professor approximately 1 year ago through Mr. Asman's introduction. He provided me with a blueprint, and I constructed what? And I constructed the machine to his
Me with a blueprint that I could rock it in the bus.
to his precise specifications. It was no trick. If the whole show was a fraud, it would have required a body double. Tell me, did the victim have a twin? All the spectators saw the birdcage appear above their heads and then crash headfirst into the crypt tower. Terrible accident, I grant you. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow. Yeah, I think that the wax figure looks like. And then they'll present the part where it's like he would have to have a body double.
A body double?
That goes without saying, surely. Give the impression that something has moved, and in reality it hasn't. It's a basic conjuring. Deception cannot be achieved without substituting the original with fake at some point in the performance. But would I be right in saying you haven't managed to establish anything along those lines?
Ugh.
Incidentally, the prosecution has already confirmed that Mr. Assman had no twin siblings.
It's my understanding that this witness is well versed in conjuring artfulness. But such talents do not indicate that he was actually able to accomplish what he claims. Namely, the construction of what, by all accounts, must have been an extremely complex scientific machine.
Whatever do you mean?
Yesterday's proceedings brought the true nature of your past exploits to light, Mr. Drebber.
Indeed it did, my
Indeed
lord.
it did, my deed.
As the swindler who preys on innocent scientists to elicit government grant money through conjuring know-how.
Yes, it's true that I possess considerable knowledge of stage magic. But crucially, my scientific knowledge more than matches that of any academic in the field.
Investigation of the witness's workshop attests to that claim, my lord. As evidence, the police found this Royal Society trophy for a young talent in science there.
Yes, that's true. We spotted it there ourselves. A hypothesis is sound. It can always be forged into a physical manifestation with sufficient skill. Though I may have sold the secrets of some deceptive wheels to conniving, talentless scientists in the past.
What?
Would you therefore assert that the explosion of the machine was
An unfortunate accident, or, of course, a deliberate act of murder carried out by misuse of the science?
Pretty cool outfit.
Long hair.
counsel for the defense your cross-examination, please?
Yes, my lord.
Lord.
Yes, me lord. Right, off I go then.
Alright. I have no idea what's going on. This is press, I guess.
Hold it!
Hold it.
So you were already acquainted with Mr. Asman himself.
Not really, by chance. I'd seen his name mentioned in the paper, that's all. But I had no interest in his private affairs. As an unscrupulous was no concern of mine. As long as people pay their bills, I take up my tools and construct what they ask for.
So why did Mr. Asman approach you in particular then?
Can't say, I presume. Associated. Excellence in engineering.
Not to mention excellence in fraud.
Hard to gauge. My gosh.
Hard to gauge.
Gosh. But the point is, all I did was construct them in according to the blueprints I was given.
In other words, the Kinesis machine was built on solid scientific principles.
Yes, you might say that. Professor Harebrained certainly had a mind like no other.
Hold it!
It's clear that you have both scientific knowledge and knowledge of conjuring magic. However,
For knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to handle whatever comes along. But your implication is, they furnished the machine from trickery, I think.
it's a possibility that we have to explore.
Unfortunately, though, the machine has been blown to Kingdom Come. There's really nothing left to explore, is it?
It appears that the Kinesis machine was fitted with a timed explosive device of some kind.
And there's nothing left of that device either. Not a single thread of evidence. I hear.
He must have planned all this from the outset.
But in any case, it's
Whoa, even his head.
abundantly clear that the experiment could have been a trick.
Hold it!
Of course, that's it. Mr. Aspen has a twin!
Perhaps my learned friend wasn't listening earlier. Mr. Assman had no twin siblings.
No, I heard you before, but the thread of hope hadn't quite left me.
Demonstration could have been a trick if there was somebody who looked sufficiently like the victim. But Mr. Scythe, but Dr. Scythe absolutely ruled that out as a possibility.
It is beyond question that the victim himself, Mr. Assman, did move from the stage to the Crystal Tower. The fingerprints found at the scene attest to the fact.
So it can't have been orchestrated using someone who looked identical to Asman then. What are you thinking, Mr. Narhead?
Oh, no, nothing.
Me?
No, I'm not thinking at all. I'm just chilling.
You know.
Have you
Just
seen that
the-
meme of, oh, what's his name? Beetlejuice?
No,
No?
I haven't seen the
He's
meme.
like, what are you doing? Me? Nothing. Just hanging around. You never seen that one?
Never seen it. Just the idea of someone who looked identical to the victim is playing on my mind.
Hold it!
It crashed headfirst, you say?
According to the many witness reports, from those there at the time, yes.
Were you not there at the exhibition grounds that day, on that day?
Unlikely. I rarely leave the workshop.
Yet, another one of your unique inventions was found at the scene.
Well, it was the unveiling of a machine I labored over for many months. Unveiling. I saw it clearly with my own eyes. Birdcage plummeting head first into the tower.
What a surprise!
I believe the victim's neck was broken from the headlong fall, wasn't it?
How would you have come by that information?
Even an infernal recluse like me reads the newspapers.
An infernal recluse like me.
That's interesting.
That's a good title.
Infernal recluse.
An infernal recluse like me. That's better than Gamut full of tactics.
Just
An
so you'll be
infernal-
satisfied, we'll change it.
Oh my gosh, what acting like it's not
An
a good
infernal.
recluse like me. Refcluse. That's a good title. That's a good title.
I'm just gonna put I'm an infernal recluse.
Yes.
Okay,
That's a great.
it's okay.
No, it's not okay. Don't hate on my title.
May the fourth gamut full of tactics.
That
be-
was bad, but I'm an infernal recluse. That's a good one.
According to the reports, 2 injuries were apparent on the victim's body.
Yes, he had been stabbed in the chest by a screwdriver believed to be belonging to the defendant, and he had broken vertebrae as a result of the fall from a considerable height.
Correct. My learned friend has been doing his research, it seems.
Do we know which injury was the fatal one?
Sadly not. Forensic science is not yet at a level where such things can be determined. What we do know is that the victim died having sustained both injuries at some point during the experiment. And since he was found in the birdcage with his neck broken... What are you doing? Show Thomas the...
Oh, I've seen it. It's fine. We're not gonna bother watching it. I'll watch it later.
Okay. Obvious that he fell from a considerable height.
I suppose that's hard to deny.
Hold it!
So you understood the science, did you?
Not in the slightest.
Oh, right.
As I've said a number of times, I'm an engineer. My job is to manufacture according to the blueprint I'm given. I would be inviting manifold problems if I foolishly allowed my brain to digest the ideas behind them. I could be accused of stealing those ideas, for example.
But how is it possible to construct a machine without really understanding the principle it relies on?
Well, practicing law without really understanding the principle. Lies on, aren't you?
Wow. He clapped back hard.
Very good points.
Stand up for yourself, Mr. Knight.
The point is, the experiment resulted in instantaneous kinesis taking place. As such, the science must be sound.
Yes, and really, experimental results are all that matters when it comes to proving a hypothesis.
Certainly very sure of himself.
What do you think, Mr. Naruto?
Well, now that the machine has been completely destroyed by yesterday's explosion, it's going to be impossible to argue its authenticity one way or the other.
But if we're unable to establish that it was a aid rather than genuine science, we'll have no grounds on which to demonstrate Professor Harry.
Both Mr. Assman and this man in the stand tricked the professor and used him. They took advantage of his naivety and his unbending belief in his work, and I won't let them get away with it. And seeing as the professor is an old friend of Lord Van Zeek's, what on earth must he be feeling towards Trevor? Alright, it's definitely the
Hatred.
third statement. I think we just present the head.
Objection!
Well, that was not it.
No, the photograph. Also.
Look at this graph.
Body double. What is this picture about?
Just enough Trevor.
Did you ever examine this thing?
Yeah, this doesn't have anything. This is the Troper in Trevor's workshop.
And the oh,
Did we examine the trophy?
Never mind. Oh look, the cover came open.
yes. Now there should be a glass plate inside. You have to change the plate with each new photograph you want to take.
Is something wrong?
There's no plate. It must have been.
Ah, what a pity. But I suppose if you think about it, this wouldn't be the actual camera that was used at the time, just like the waxwork isn't the actual person. But we never have found a photographic print of the executed convict coming back to life anyway.
Oh yes, you're quite right. Of course.
Poor Susato-san, she looks devastated. Okay, this is clearly not pertinent right now.
I bet the trophy is.
Trophy?
Yeah. Prove that he's not actually an engineer.
Someone else's name?
Like he forged it. Yeah.
There's a little metal plaque here, look. Fostering burgeoning talent for the future of scientific discovery.
Seems rather ironic, doesn't it?
But clearly Mr. Drebber was really was a talented scientist. Nope, that's it. That's all there is.
It's authentic. He's legit.
What about the picture? What if we just
What if the whole show was a fraud? Is that the one that you think it's on? It would have
Yeah.
required a body double. Tell me, did the victim have a twin? Present.
What do you want?
Wait, hold on. What are the other statements?
Oh, okay.
These pictures are birdcage. Okay, next. Trevor accidentally grant you.
I don't think there's anything we can do about that
He
one.
provided me with blueprints. Frick, I met this person 1 year ago. Okay. Provided me.
wait.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely that one. Definitely the whole
Go
show
back,
was a
go back one
fraud.
more.
I think anything's wrong with
Wait,
that.
all the pictures.
We could present the part of the balloon at that point on.
Well, I mean, those aren't wrong though. There's nothing wrong with that statement, I feel like.
That picture.
About the scene. By the little boy. I think it's here.
Do that, yeah.
And I
then
present that there's no trick because there's the trapdoor. Nope, guess not.
Or this one, and then the picture of the photograph with like the.
Wait, go to the bird tower one again. You could present that photo of him shooting the bird cage at the
How does that disprove it?
all spectators saw the bird cage appear above their heads. We're showing like the bird cage was in there and he's shooting.
Well, this
it.
doesn't show that.
Well, the game obviously takes a logical leap somewhere, so we just have to
Perhaps.
find the logical leap.
Go to the picture of the guy again.
Hmm.
Of the dead guy. Maybe we can present this because the glasses aren't. Or didn't we already do?
Alright, well, I'm gonna try presenting this one here.
Objection!
Dang it, alright, someone
Good luck.
give their next guess.
I did, but then you went out. Does that
Maybe
make
the
sense?
guy.
No, okay, you can go for it. Which one do you want?
I told you at the birdcage one, then the
Okay.
photo of him shooting at the birdcage.
Okay, I'll present it.
That's all I'm saying. Or it's either that or it's the balloon cloth.
When you want to present?
Go back to the cloth. What is the description? Okay, where we found it. Different pieces of canvas like were found under the experimentation stage of the.
I forget which ones we already like had.
Yeah, I would
presented
present
last
that.
time.
I would present that. Objection! We're screwed.
Alright, Ivana.
Saves come.
We gotta save it.
Ah, nothing's even happened yet.
Oh, we gotta save it.
Hey, we'll just go back here in the blink of an eye. Alright. What do you think?
So we're trying to prove something.
Yeah, anything. I think it's the second statement or the third statement. Because he's saying it's not a trick, and then he's saying he might have had a twin. Or a body double or something.
You can present. Let's do on here. The show was a fraud. Then. Wait, go to the drawing.
It wouldn't be. Wait, wait. Go back to what he said. Go back to this one, the head first.
What? Oh, this one?
Right here. Crash head first. You didn't crash head first. Go to the broken bottom.
Okay, yeah,
Maybe
present
present
that.
Okay.
Objection!
Wow!
Ooh.
Wow!
Let's go.
I can't believe that
Ivana
was
came in
it.
clutch.
We examined the bird cage that crashed into the crystal tower ourselves. As you can see, the cage, which is a wooden construction, has sustained damage in one particular spot.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Following an explosion, it fell some 30 feet into the glass of the crystal tower.
What powers of observation?
That level of damage is to be expected, surely.
I agree, the damage itself is entirely understandable. What doesn't make sense is the location of that damage. All the breakages in the wood are at the base of the birdcage, not the top.
What are you saying?
That's the opposite of where they should be.
That's right, my lord. The birdcage that was at the scene is damaged at its base. So we have reports of the birdcage falling headlong into the crystal tower, yet the damage is at the bottom. The only way to reconcile these two facts is to accept that there were two birdcages in play that day, which were at some point switched. Switched during what wasn't a scientific experiment at all.
So
but
this
elaborate
birdcage must have
piece
been the one
of
that
stage trickery.
dropped down through the trap door.
Yep. Why is that
Why?
orange? What?
Gah!
Gah!
Ah!
Good gracious, explain yourself, wet nest!
No, the first 4 letters were clearly key parts of information. The rest was irrelevant.
Well,
He's like, well,
Yep.
if we examine the facts, there's only one logical conclusion we can draw. The damage on the base of the birdcage clearly indicates that it crashed tail first into the tower.
Objection! But multiple witnesses reports claim it fell head first.
Birdcage materialized in the sky next to a balloon flying over the stage following a spontaneous explosion at an altitude of some 60 feet above ground level.
which is approximately 18 meters.
Thanks, Sato-san.
It then proceeded to fall some 30 feet into the crystal tower in the ensuing deflagration.
For all those people that don't live in the United States, you know, 13 or whatever, however, 18 meters.
Yeah.
Technically, this game should be set in meters and stuff. This is taking place in London.
I know.
Witness reports amid such chaos are notoriously unreliable. And yet we're relying on them.
But the
For
victim,
my side of
but
the
the
story.
victim's neck was broken.
He plummeted 30 feet inside a heavy wooden cage. However, he felt it would be unsurprising to find 1 or 2 of his vertebrae crushed.
To the robot.
Riveting scientific analysis of events from the prosecution there. Though to be even more rigorous, you would have to say it was only one vertical action.
He wasn't quiet for long.
I find it hard to see what's motivating Lord Van Zee. This witness is clearly a swindler, and one who deceived a perfect friend of it.
If you're going to establish this deception, do it right. Alright, she's what she said.
I know, I mean, it's
I feel like that's the undertone here.
Ah, yes, and there's one more point the defense appears to have forgotten. Obviously, it wasn't a trick, as a certain truth very plainly demonstrated.
What?
It seems to me the cross-examination had better continue until we resolve this matter. Mr. Drebber, you will amend your testimony with details of this truth.
Of course, must treat the matter scientifically after all.
Ugh, I nearly had him there.
I like it ahead.
The kinesis clearly took place. Oh, we already read.
Technically, it's been altered.
Hold it!
What do you mean?
Well, before the demonstration began, the victim was alive on stage in front of the audience.
Yes, there are lots of witnesses who saw Mr. Asman on the experimentation stage. That's true.
And the victim's neck broke as a result of an impact following a fall. Logically, therefore, the victim must have fallen from somewhere.
The balloon that exploded was at an altitude of 60 feet. The point of impact on the tower was 30 feet up. That difference of 30 feet is therefore the total distance the birdcage fell.
And there is no other location from which I can't. No, the cage could have fallen at that distance. Drop out.
Here
There you
go.
go. The victim itself must have been from the stage, high above the cliff.
Trenchant.
What the?
Trenchant scientific analysis. Dear me, every time I hear it explained, it sounds increasingly plausible.
Oh, yeah. It's all very well thought out. Certainly, all the spectators on the day.
Trenchant, vigorous or incisive in expression or style.
Trenchant.
Birdcage plummeting 30 feet through the air, I mean.
Irritatingly, yes. Okay, so it has to be here, obviously. Oh, so then we
Oh,
present the
present.
door.
Place.
The trap door. Okay, we'll save
Nowhere
though.
else to
Save.
We'll
hide
save
the
for your
birdcage
guys'
falling.
for your guys'
Save.
sake, but I
Save.
believe
Save.
I believe
All you have to do is it's the picture of the fish.
I
Right here.
believe so hard that it's this.
Boom, boom.
Objection!
Never mind, it wasn't this.
What? It had to have been that.
Alright.
Save scum.
Fine. Another one for the records.
Just like the video.
Fallen from. No
Present.
other-
No, you'll present the
What's this one again?
diagram showing other. No. Go to the thing shooting the thing.
Thing shooting the
Yeah,
thing.
that one. That. There's
Okay.
nowhere else it could have fallen from. Right there.
Objection!
Alright.
A la madre.
Nothing happened. It's fine. Screen just blacked out for some
Go
reason.
back to the pictures.
Which ones? There's nowhere else 30 feet high.
What about in the newspaper?
Nah, it's just the events and the attack.
Maybe it could be this one. Also, because it fell 30 feet. Fell 30 feet.
Vent it.
Objection!
Oh wow, Ivana's
Ivana?
on fire today.
Heck
the
yeah.
This is a
Heck?
diagram of the experimentation stage and its surroundings. We know that somehow the birdcage appeared in midair before falling down into the crystal tower. A fall about 30 feet or 9 meters. However, if you examine the diagram carefully, you'll see that there is one other possible location from which the birdcage could have fallen. The same distance of 30 feet.
No.
Well, it appears the defense is a plausible explanation to put forward. Go ahead, counsel.
Yes, my lord. Of course.
You will indicate the place to which you are referring on this same diagram. The alternative position from which... Oh,
The place I'm referring to is here.
but that's where the
And
birdcage
you'd be
would
like,
have
how
been
is that
to begin
possible?
with.
He didn't fall off. And you'd be like, okay,
Which
look,
exactly
this
is the point, my lord. Yes, the birdcage was in the machine on the stage. But what we must also consider is the height of the stage itself.
Go on, counsel.
It turns out that the experimentation stage was built at a considerable height above ground level. If you look at the diagram, in fact, you'll see it's at about the same height above the ground as the balloon was above the crash site. When the experiments got underway, the machine and the birdcage were engulfed in steam. At that moment, the floor of the stage gave way, and if we assume there to be a void underneath, the birdcage and the one seen by the audience would have fallen almost exactly the same distance.
Just saying, rewatch out the mini stream.
Once again, my lord, we're all just watching to see.
I'm just
This
saying.
all points to the fact that there was not one birdcage, but two.
Objection!
My learned friend has no evidence the stage had such a contrivance in its design. Right there, look at. Oh wait, here it comes. You ready? You're telling me that it doesn't look suggestive? No, just wait. Come on. We're covering it, but come on. And it literally has a line there for the head. Anyways.
Why?
Someone is responsible for the criminal destruction of the kinesis machine itself, it's true. However, the stage still stands. And take a moment to look at the photographic print of the scene following yesterday's explosion.
Goodness, the metal grill that formed the floor of the machine is undone.
Yes, most likely blown open by the force of the explosion that destroyed the rest of the machine. The defense calls for the space below the stage to be investigated immediately. Mr. Drebber, it was you who built the kinesis machine, which means that it was you who built the two bird cages that were used to carry out this deception. Whether Professor Harebrain's hypothesis is sound or not makes no difference, because it's the construction of this machine that matters, a machine designed to take Mr. Assman's life, and lay the blame firmly at the professor's door, something that could only have been carried out by you, Mr. Enoch
So
Drebber.
it was just his.
Turn into toad.
Objection!
Oh, let's see. Ah. If my learned friend has reached the end of his wild assertions. The prosecution would like to crush the defense's argument slowly but surely.
What?
Your argument fails to hold water
Much like your chalice now.
on 2 counts.
Who?
Firstly, before and after the experiment, this witness went nowhere near the kinesis machine. Every relevant member of the staff from the exhibition is attested to that.
And I believe members of Scotland Yard have also been on watch duty at every public experiment.
In other words, Mr. Drebber had no opportunity to switch the alleged pair of bird cages.
Objection! But I've already explained why he wouldn't have needed to.
The nonsense with the crossbow, that doesn't bolster your case at all. The man who disappeared from the stage and the man who crashed into the tower are one and the same. The forensic investigation team's report is unequivocal on that point.
Ah,
And the second flaw in your assertion is a distinct lack of motive. Why would this man have wanted to take the victim's life? He had no reason to do so.
a motive? Do I have to think of everything?
I have here a contract
Myself.
provided by the witness.
What contract is this, Lord Fanseeks?
The contract into which Mr. Drebber entered with the victim, Mr. Assman. It reads, Mr. Drebber is to receive 30% of all remunerations from government grants or other income.
30%? Certainly very favorable contractual conditions.
But there was one very important provision bolted onto that clause.
What provision?
Mr. Drebber may only uphold this right on condition that both contracting parties are alive.
What a specific condition!
Wow.
In other words, if either of us were to die, the contract would become null and void. So you see, I had nothing to gain from Mr. Death. The diametric opposite.
In fact,
Ugh.
need I say more? The witness had neither an opportunity nor a reason to commit the alleged crime. In short, the possibility of Mr. Drebber having done as you suggest is nil.
Ugh. Uah.
Oh, it seems the defense's assertion was somewhat wide of the mark. Lord Fanseeks, you will submit the contract as evidence, please.
Alright, time to read the contract. I bet there's something in there like, if everyone's dead, you get all the money.
Let's see it.
The investor, Mr. Odie Assman, hereby enters into contract with the provider, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to fund labor and materials for construction of super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. Mr. Drebber is to receive 30% of all remunerations from the government grants or other income. Mr. Drebber only uphold this right on the condition that both contracting parties are alive.
We're screwed.
GG. It's
That's
in the
it.
contract.
Contracted out. Sorry, it's in the contract.
It's true. If Drebber had no opportunity to switch the birdcage under the stage with the one in the crystal tower, he couldn't have done it. And in any case, I have no idea what his motive might have been.
There is one aspect of your argument that still holds true, however. For 2 bird cages, prosecution is unable to deny that.
Ah,
So I'm sure you're on the right line, Mr. Farhood. And I have no doubt there are other aspects of your assertion that are undeniable truths too.
Well, it would seem that the defense has no rejoinder to offer.
Come. Well, I must say, I'm a little surprised. I came here to testify about the machine I built, and instead my reputation is defiled. But the prosecution's counter has set the record straight, I think. It's impossible that I'm innocent.
objection! At the beginning of this trial, we believed that there was only one birdcage. Yet now we know there must have been 2. In other words, there was more to the demonstration than we realized at first. I think it's abundantly clear that the same applies to the culprit.
Get to the point.
The stage demonstration was constructed and set up in its entirety by you, Mr. Drebber. Therefore, it's inconceivable that you had no hand in the events that had to transpire. So if circumstance, he always looks like that. So if circumstances mean it's impossible that you could have carried out the crime
Usually he's
yourself,
smiling.
it points to the fact that someone else was involved.
Someone else, Counsel, are you suggesting?
It was the dog. Yes, my lord. Mr. Dribber had an accomplice.
Objection!
An accomplice now. Well, then I presume you're prepared for what's to come. Now that you're accusing not only this witness, but someone else of the most serious of crimes. If these accusations turn out to be false, then make no mistake. The prosecution will demand an equally serious punishment for your slander.
I will have you deported.
I do not think that's how it works, but okay.
Well, Counsel, do you intend to pursue this course and formally accuse another party of involvement in this matter and in doing so risk deportation?
What do I do here? I'm illegal. At the moment, this is more than a hunch on my part. I don't know for sure if Dribber had an accomplice or even if he's really the culprit here. One way or another, though, I have to make my position clear as a lawyer. So what's my stance gonna be? Did Dribber have an accomplice or not?
Yes, yeah. No, back down.
Back down, GG.
What
This
if
fence-
Kazuma doesn't say anything because he forgot English?
He speaks, though.
He does?
Yeah, he's spoken. Talk to him.
Wow, okay.
The defense is ready to name Mr. Dribber's accomplice. Somehow, the two bird cages must have switched. Everything points to that. Yet, according to the coroner's report, that's not a possibility. But the inconsistency itself is a clue.
Counsel,
My lord?
you have received a stark warning already. If you are nevertheless determined,
I read that as stank.
you have received a stank warning. Then I must now ask you to identify this alleged accomplice by name. Who is sus? So, your answer, please.
Gonna have to be
Who?
the guy, the fat dude.
You better save, Thomas. I am not sure who it
He helps-
is.
he
Honestly?
helps to
I have
put it in
absolutely
the thing.
no idea. Pick the witch.
Just like
It's the witch.
the big one. It's this guy.
It's the witch.
I actually
This
think
guy.
I think it's the victim.
It's the witch.
Okay, we only all have different answers.
Well,
Well,
it's
I've
the
been right
witch.
so far this whole time, so.
Yeah, go with.
It's true.
It's
All
this
right.
guy.
No.
Okay.
No way.
Someone I don't think this is right.
Oh.
I know.
Oh no. Oh
Okay.
no. 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 No.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was wrong, I
no.
was wrong.
Reload.
All
Then
right.
it's gotta be the witch.
It's the witch.
The witch?
Because
The
she
witch.
helps with the wax person that was the.
It'd be so dumb to call
twin.
because we can't call him as a freaking. Take that.
I still think it's him.
All right. Well, it's done. All right, it's him.
Aw.
We'll never know. Maybe we're
well,
all
this just
wrong.
this completely cancels out my whole theory. This is where they would have introduced the witch, so now we know it's not.
Never know.
No,
It's
I
not
know.
too late.
I know.
It's not too late.
Probability.
Well,
Maybe it's the little
Well,
kid.
the little kid.
little
Alright,
kid.
load.
Well, let's see.
Wait.
Let's
Pause
take a
for a
look
second.
at it.
Let me just like look at the other people.
Yeah.
The annoying lady that her Holmes
It's
knows.
Tobias Gregson.
No, it's not Gregson.
Fish and chips.
Doctor.
Strongheart. Hairbrain?
Hairbrain.
No, Sean. Not Hairbrain. It's gotta be the kid.
The kid?
Yeah.
No way. It's Bohemian Boy.
Let's
Okay,
do it.
fine. It's not
Let's
Bohemian Way.
try
That's
it,
the
why
point.
not?
It's not the
Try it.
Bohemian
It is not
Boy.
Try it. Why
Bohemian
not?
Boy.
We don't know.
You're right. We know.
We don't know. We literally don't know. What?
Okay, pick Hairbrain. Pick Hairbrain. Or pick
Oh,
the
it's
chick.
not gonna be Hairbrain.
Well, then pick the chick.
Who?
Dude, the white chick.
Her?
Yeah. Okay, no, never mind. I don't
Still
know.
a little
who-
boy,
Fine,
still
do
a
the
little boy.
It's not the little boy.
There's no way it's this
It's
kid.
not- oh my gosh, it's not him. Okay, load.
Of course not.
Load.
Okay, it's Dr. Sai.
It's
Honestly,
the white chick.
I think actually it's
It's
okay.
Dr.
We'll go with Dr. Scythe, but I actually think it might be Hairbrain. Oh, the name of the person in question is.
What's wrong, my Nipponese friend? I'm right.
But why?
Surely fear
Okay,
doesn't
after being
bind your
wrong.
tongue now. It's a little late for that.
This process, yeah, it's just a guess and check. Actually, that's what this entire game is. Of course, I'm afraid. You know how
Yeah, this is
How
not.
scary this
This
lady
out
is?
is out of left field. Honestly, makes no sense.
After all, naming her in this capacity is definitely going to make waves. A lot of waves.
Then again, she was very much like,
Get out of the
hey,
way.
you can't be here. Get out, leave.
I could very well turn every single person in this courtroom against me.
I'm sure it will be all right, Mr. Naruhodo.
Thank you, Mr. Sato.
They already hate us.
The enemy always appears larger than life, but you'll appear exactly the same to the enemy.
Alright then, here goes.
Kept us waiting long enough. Your answer, Council, now.
The person who colluded with Mr. Drebber in order to
perfect.
carry out this wicked crime is Scotland Yard's coroner, Miss Dr. Courtney Scythe. I have no idea why.
What the blazes are you talking about?
I wish I
Dr.
knew.
Scythe?
I wish I knew.
The head of the
wish I
forensic
knew.
investigation team and the coroner who conducted the autopsy on the victim. You fool.
They both have white hair, of course. How could I have not seen it before? We know that there are 2 bird cages, so who could have carried out the switch to complete the illusion? The accident happened in front of a huge crowd of spectators, and the area was immediately sealed off. Then everyone, police officer included, it was Gregson, see, were banished to make way for the forensic investigations team, I see. Who else could then the switch have... When else could the switch have occurred? I totally didn't read that second part. It can only have been in that team's presence. It's essential that the court determines exactly what happened following the incident. The defense demands that Dr. Scythe be summoned to the witness stand at once to testify.
Sounds like I just doing.
Cool as a cucumber.
You
What?
want that,
You
lad?
got a nerve, lad! Standing up there, dragging the yard's name through the mud! That corn eating dough? Yep. I didn't mean to. I know the woman very well. There's no better dead room worker out there. How dare you call her a criminal?
My learned friend's imagination appears to be wilder than the East End at night. But the recklessness of your accusation aside, there's another grave problem with your argument. One which the prosecution demands you address at once.
A grave problem?
Oh my word.
I don't know why, but it's. What if one time, just out of nowhere, you know how like movies get one F word?
What the?
If a game can get one F word, Susato out of nowhere just, what the just drops a hard F. It'd be so funny.
Who do you claim acted as the victim's doppelganger?
What?
Certainly, if the birdcage containing the body of the victim was exchanged for another,
Tell me I have to explain this?
Then
that
we'll just
cage
present
must
the
also
head.
have contained a body. And yet, no missing persons or accidental deaths of anyone even remotely resembling the victim have been reported. Which means there was no one, dead or alive, who could have fulfilled the role of a body double for Mr. Assman.
Oh, that's true.
You're right. There is no one dead or alive.
If
but
my
there
argument is that
was.
there was 2 burger cages, then there must have also been 1 person inside each. But I don't know if I've gotten an answer to this yet, have I?
I do.
What can I do to reveal how this body
Nothing.
double stuff was
Nothing at
achieved?
the
Present
moment. Nothing at the
evidence.
moment.
Nothing at the moment.
No, wait, does it actually kill you sometimes?
I think so.
No
actually
way.
think
so.
Nothing at the they do it.
Alright, just to
Evidence.
just
Nothing at the
to
moment.
satiate, yeah, because it flashes that. That shows that it's gonna take it out, take an HP.
Ah, I can't explain that at the moment. Wow, okay. Thanks for saving. I definitely just would have clicked it. Name someone. Oh, present
Present
evidence.
evidence.
Yeah.
We don't have another person dead.
You're right. You're
Very
right,
well.
you're
The
right.
defense will address my learned friend's concerns. Wait, wow, you really just called him that, eh? By presenting evidence that reveals the true nature of Mr. Assman's body double.
Good gracious, evidence! I do hope this isn't filibustering, counsel. The court is expecting a name.
If you think your relevant evidence, present it now.
The body double and the birdcage were hiding inside the balloon that was floating above the stage, which means that any witnesses would have only seen them from 60 feet away. So who was it that appeared out of the explosion some 18 meters above the spectators? Aha!
Was in.
I just figured it out. The body double inside the second birdcage was...
Was.
Let me save.
That's true. We know that the victim, Mr. Assman, was the birdcage that was situated inside the kinesis on this machine on stage. And therefore he couldn't have been inside the second birdcage. Instead, that contained something else. What's been described as a body double, which is what fell from the sky and crashed into the crystal tower.
Yes, counsel, according to your somewhat elaborate version of events, Much more simple than as an instantaneous kinesis machine.
Yep. And the fact that body double inside the birdcage, second birdcage, was a fact.
It's alright, Mr. Naruhodo. You're ready for this. Just steel yourself and come out with it.
You said more ridiculous things in court before, it's fine. Thank you, Mrs. Sato, I needed that. As I was saying, the body double inside the second birdcage was, as unbelievable as it may seem, that thing there.
What the?
Why do we have
Yeah,
the
I don't
entire
know.
thing
I
just
don't
sitting
know.
there?
As Ace Attorney. A whole carriage into
Also, yeah, it's just been sitting here the entire time, like, what?
Objection!
Open your eyes and look into mine, my Nipponese
Wow,
friend.
did you just tell me to open my
your
eyes? Oh my.
Wow. He has his eyes closed, to be fair. Maybe that wasn't racist. Now tell me, what
Play.
are you playing at?
Stand firm now, Rinosuke. This is time to show your Japanese spirit. As the court will observe, this is a waxwork model. A model, in fact, of the infamous London murderer from 10 years ago, the Professor.
Objection!
You started by indicating the leader of the You started by indicting the leader of the forensic investigation team as an
Indicting.
accomplice.
It's indicting.
Oh.
As an accomplice in this crime. And now you've moved on to indicting waxworks.
Yes, that's about the size of it.
But why? And why this waxwork? It looks nothing like the victim. In fact, it could hardly resemble him less. What possible justification can you give?
If you want to know why, ask Mr. Trevor.
I bet
What?
the head's all like misformed, like.
Just days before Professor Harebrained preferred to perform this public demonstration, Mr. Trevor abducted this model from Madame Tuspel's.
Did you say abducted?
And 2 days after the incident at the Great Exhibition, he returned it to the museum.
Then the timing.
Is this true, Mr. Trevor?
At first, I could see why Mr. Trevor would have stolen. I couldn't see why Mr. Trevor would have stolen the waxwork and then given it back again. But now the reason is clear. He took it so that he could put it inside the second birdcage as a body double for Mr. Assman.
Objection!
Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Are you hearing the defense's astonishing proposal? That the witness fabricated this vast machine with the intention of deceiving some wretched scientist. That he did so in collusion with the country's finest coroner, and on a public stage in front of a vast audience. And that, to effect the deception, he used a waxwork model that in no way resembles the victim. Are we really to believe this far-fetched tale? What do you decide? This,
Objection!
or the never-before seen or heard science of instantaneous teleportation kinesis transmutation machine?
Anti-gravity. Wait! Yes, if you put it like that, of course it sounds implausible.
Framing!
I need to speak if you please.
Go ahead, Mr. Foreman!
Myself and my colleagues have reached an agreement.
Another summation examination?
Very good in that case! Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, your stipulations for the court are here now!
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Kill me.
Guilty.
No. 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 Really? Estúpidos. No manches.
So, as indicted by the foreman, the jury has reached a consensus.
I knew this was gonna happen.
We shall get through this, Mr. Naruhodo, as we always do. And uncover some new truths along the way, I'm quite sure.
I always hate this because it's like never ends up being like a real truth, I feel like. It's just pointing out two people's stupid logic.
Yep. Yes, I agree. I'm going to have to appeal to the jurors as usual and see if I can persuade them to change their minds.
Wait! You said he was white? I'm changing it right now!
Like, it's so dumb.
The defense will now embark on a summation examination. Are you and your fellows ready to proceed, Mr. Foreman?
We are, my lord.
Very well. In that case, I ask you now to state clearly for all present to hear the grounds on which each of you has decided that the defendant is guilty of the crime with which he has been charged. I added in some words there, but whatever.
Alright.
I've known that woman for years. She'd never be an accomplice to anything. It's utter nonsense to think that those two would ever be conniving with one another.
Oh dear, this is most troubling. But surely the waxwork the man stole is nothing to do with the coroner, is it?
I have my own problems with the members of the police. I do not trust them much.
I've seen no rigorous proof that this waxwork was ever inside a birdcage. It's conjecture.
Choosing someone without right evidences is not a proper job, is he? I won't have it.
Alright. Wait, where'd the hat go? The hat's gone.
That was like forever ago.
Somewhat unsurprisingly, Hannah has not been paying attention. It seems the introduction of this waxwork model to the proceedings has polarized opinion.
Given that its face is obscured and its build in no way resembles that of the victim, I can only applaud my learned friend's temerity at suggesting it as Mr. Assman's body double.
Yes, the applause is deafening.
What is temerity?
I don't know. And yes, I know it seems extraordinary, but that's the point. That's why I have a strong feeling it's actually a greater clue than anyone yet realizes.
What are you thinking, Naruto?
I can't explain why at the moment, but I feel as though there's a specific reason why it was used, why it had to be this model.
Really? A reason why nothing else would do?
Yes, and I'm convinced. It's something far more significant than whether or not the model looked like the victim. Okay, well, I didn't think about it in that sense.
Well, if that's the case, we must prevent the trial from ending prematurely at all costs.
Temerity, excessive confidence, or boldness.
That's me!
Yes, agreed. I have to find the way out of this.
Literally that comment in and of itself.
If you are ready, counsel, you may proceed with the summation examination!
It's like,
Yes,
let's
my
get ready to
lord!
rumble.
It's like WWE. Because WWE gets in there.
In the right hand of the jury, we have Mr.
The mic dropped from the
Naruhodo
ceiling. Oh, you.
versus juror number 6.
Don't think it's this.
That one.
I think this is gonna be one of the statements. Why would you assume that?
Well, quite simply because that unsettling swindler has no relationship with the woman, does he?
True, as it stands, we don't know of any connection.
Oh gosh, but it would be delightfully romantic if they were to somehow have mutual interest in the waxwork.
Romantic?
A woman of society such as myself views everything in terms of relationships, you know.
She ships.
Huh?
Well, you learn something new
Everyone
every
ships,
day,
Thomas.
even if you don't want to.
One might wonder about a possible relationship between the defendant and this coroner woman. Or perhaps between the defendant and the handsome prosecutor just there. It kinda sounds like harebrained.
This woman may be more astute than I've been giving credit for.
I actually read that as this woman might be more autistic. I actually read that as autistic. That is that astute.
That's a woman's stance.
This
So
woman might be
perhaps
more autistic
demonstrating
than I
some
thought.
connection between the waxwork and Dr. Science would be enough.
Yes, I agree. As soon as we have even a whiff of a connection, she'll be the first to know.
Astute. Now go to the front, dude, because you also talked about them having a relationship.
Does?
Yeah. I could never see those two
We go
ever
back to
work with
the
one
thing
another.
now.
And she's like, I ship them, honestly.
But we're only just starting to understand this case. What are you reading there, sir?
Name behind those murders on the solar palm street was caught in 2 days flat. That's real policing for ya.
That's really not relevant to the case, is it?
You're wrong there. Because it was Dr. Scythe in charge of examining the bodies, and it was evidence arising from her work that led to the arrest of the scoundrel responsible.
Oh,
That's right. Oh, that woman is at the forefront of this country's fight against crime. The idea that she's somehow involved in this murky business is a whole load of toss.
I thought it was up to me to press the jurors, not the other way around.
I'm biased as fuck.
But you claimed the whole instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a trick.
That I did, but there's more than one way to pull a rabbit out of a hat, isn't there?
Sorry?
I grant you, given that his cage appeared from amidst an explosion, there'd have been no need to use a real person. But if a waxwork had been used, the culprit could have at least have had the decency to make it look like a victim.
I'm not sure exactly how much criminals are governed by decency.
The point is, if you're going to make a claim about a waxwork being inside a bird cage, you need to give us some evidence. Without that, it's just not science.
I suppose we should expect nothing less than a logical argument from a fellow of the Royal Society. That perhaps means that mine could be changed if it managed to present evidence.
Evidence that the professor's waxwork was inside that bird cage. Wait, do we? Inside the bird cage? I don't think we have anything.
That itself, no?
Oh, wait. This.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But just in case. I have evidence! Actually, I have something I'd like you to see, sir.
Oh, I must warn you that I firmly believe it's only wise to trust men in white coats.
You're in a black coat.
White coats. So, given your jet black outfit, I don't mind admitting to a sense of trepidation here.
Did you have to put emphasis on the colors?
Yeah.
So you don't trust anyone in black?
And I'm emphasizing it. It literally is in a different color. I'm just ahead of the. I know what they're.
Looking in the mirror must be very trying.
The game walks us down a path, and you go, "Wait, why'd you take it down that path, Matt?" Oh, maybe because the game literally walked us there. Sorry, my deducting skills are just one sentence ahead of everyone else's.
What's that? A piece of glass? That was unusually thick for glass.
Yeah, it's a piece of. Yes, it's a piece of broken glass that we found inside the jacket on the waxwork. As you say, it's not ordinary glass though. It's very thick and clearly made for extra strength. Much like the special glass that was developed for the construction of the Crystal Tower.
The Crystal Tower? Holy smoke!
He's bald! Exactly, the centerpiece of the Great Exhibition, where the very incident we're talking about took place. On the day in question, the birdcage fell from above and smashed through a window of that special glass.
From whence was this whole piece originated? Is that it?
Precisely. So what do you say? Now that the clear evidence in support of the assertion has been placed in front of you, before you.
Well, as I say, I don't trust men in white coats, as a rule. However, when the reasoning is sound, it's fair to say color shouldn't come into it.
That's right.
Not
Color
racist.
shouldn't come
Redemption.
into it.
Redemption.
Color
on-
shouldn't come into it. That's
There we go.
right.
He's like,
I'm racist unless it matters, and I'm not racist. In light of what you show me here, yes, I feel obliged to change my position on the matter. In that case, juror number 4, you will amend your statement now, please.
color doesn't matter. It'd also be a great title. Color doesn't matter.
I like that one more.
Then I'm an infernal recluse.
Yeah.
Color doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
The theme of Ace Attorney has been racism, so
Yep.
you know it's nice to get a supporter.
I like
Yeah.
it.
It's nice to see some
Wait, why
support.
2 spaces?
I didn't mean that. Not
Why
no
no space?
Oh my gosh.
Or did he say shouldn't matter? Whatever. Color doesn't matter.
We'll see exactly what he said. Color shouldn't come into it. Color shouldn't matter.
Honestly, shouldn't and doesn't.
But he said
matter.
shouldn't, you know? So
Whatever.
matters. The presence of the piece of glass leaves me little doubt the waxwork was indeed inside that birdcage. Who are... I'm gonna press the first person first. Alright, I'll just press them all. Whatever.
Hold it!
The order of things seems to have changed around here for some reason. I'm a copper, lad. It's a copper's discretion to bend the rules sometimes when needs must. I think that's true, actually. As a cop, you have to speed to catch a speeding criminal. What's wrong with that? Where do I start? I've been working at the yard for 40-odd years!
You know cops are also allowed to do drugs?
For,
undercover.
yeah, undercover. Yeah.
Like, I read the story of this cop, and they be like, prove you're not a cop, like, snort this coke. The cop had never done coke, and he snorted it. And then, like, the cop was, like, freaking out. And then everyone around him was like, dude, that was, like, a ton of coke. And, like, they walked over and they're like, dude, we believe you. Like, you're not a cop. Are you okay? They're like, we're concerned about it. Like, there's no way anyone would have snorted that much cocaine. Anyways,
That's
it was a
even
funny story to
more
read.
than I thought. It's even more coke than I thought. We've only had a metropolitan police service in town for 70 years, you know. Of course, times have changed. The public didn't trust cops.
Does that mean I have
back
to be
when I
racist to
started.
catch a racist? Just
It
kidding.
was rough. That was a rough statement.
Gotta
We had
speed to
to-
catch a speeder.
We had to be racist to catch racist people back then.
You can laugh.
We gotta be-
Jokes.
We had to
be
fight
racist to
crime.
get the racist.
And we had to fight to win the public's trust as well. And when we did. Forensic science was in its infancy too, even more than it is now. And she spearheaded the revolution. Dr. Scythe, you mean? That's right! About 10 years ago now it was, when I was still a youngish bobby on the beat. That's when she
Okay.
started making a name for herself as a top-class coroner. And now look at her, head of the forensic investigation team. And a woman, no less.
Whoa! This guy is breaking.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
old. He's no longer racist, and
He's sexist.
Wow.
Well, you
This
won't
is-
hear me complain.
Oh, look at that. Man, this guy. Wow.
Wait, you know, yeah,
Redemption
no,
arc. Oh,
no,
no,
it's all
you think
innovative.
he's
Yeah.
racist? He's
do
not.
you think?
You think he's sexist? He's not. That's
Because
great.
because it's fair. You know, you'll usually find more males, especially back in that time of those positions. But he's fine with it. He's happy
He's
for
cool.
it. You
He's
know,
progressive.
it's what we dreamt of back then.
He's
I
woke.
tell you. Could you tell me without holding a gun, that gun in the air? We were all out to uphold justice, lad. Full of vim, we were. Full of vim. That's coming across loud and clear. All right, you were useless.
Funny though.
Hold it!
Gonna talk with yourself for another
Yeah. What sort of problems? Let's just say we have run into each other on numerous occasions while I've been performing on the streets. Right,
Turning
I
into
see.
Holmes.
Really? I don't think it sounds that similar. Obviously, artists such as myself cannot appear on stage as we work in close proximity to our audiences. So we perform our great magic in parks, on street corners, and the like.
Not in my day.
But the police use
Not
any
in my
excuse to make our lives difficult.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. You have something to say in response to that, Mr. Otterbowl. Who are you calling a mass murderer? Huh? Sorry, my mistake? I got confused because I heard you look like him. I don't look anything like the man! You wanna be locked up, sonny? Thanks, Mr. Sholmes. Perhaps we can move on. I was really wondering if you had something you wanted to add in response to what juror number 3 just said. And clearly you do. Back in my day, back in the good old days, it wasn't like this.
Oh, here it comes.
What was it like, sir? We worked our fingers to the bone to earn the public's trust, we did, and by Jove, we earned it. People respected us back then. Respecting you? Huh. No one would have called a coroner into question in them days. Oh, I'm really just conversating with myself. A coroner's report was the hallmark of an investigation done right, especially when Dr. Courtney Stevens put her name. Courtney Stevens. Where does that name come up?
That's from the one thing that we handed.
Oh, that's right. It's the coroner report, the killer's autopsy report.
So Dr. Scythe is named Courtney Stevens.
What? No, these are two different people, I'm guessing. She was the best of the best, and the apple of the forest's eye. I don't know what she said. Hold on a minute. What are you talking about? Who's Courtney Stevens? Ah, sorry, got a bit carried away there.
Stevens is Dr.
What
Sykes'
the
maiden name.
fetch?
I was right.
What the fetch?
You're welcome. What can I say except I'm right again?
Her maiden name? So that was before she was married? Of course, yes, Sully, me. It's Scythe now, isn't it? Stevens. I'm sure I've seen that name somewhere recently. Anyway, the point is, those were the great days of policing. Not like now. Make London great again. Sorry to interrupt, sir. But do you think you could change your statement to include that name? Well, yes, I don't see why not. It was Courtney Stevens back even when I knew of her, of course. Legendary Corner even then, okay? I should probably finish this, you think?
Hold it!
Alright. Yeah, let's just move forward a little bit.
You don't have it.
Oh, I totally didn't even stop this time. Okay, well, we'll just ignore that, I guess. I'm sure you have something. Oh, pressed A accidentally. I know it seems a little far-fetched to think that the waxwork model of the professor was in the birdcage, but on the other hand, it explains a lot.
There really is a reason why that particular waxwork had to be used as Mr. Adam's double. We must do everything we can to make the jurors understand it.
The truth is, I'm sure that's the key to this, but it's the most puzzling part of it too.
In that case, see what additional need whilst trying to change the jurors' minds. You can read a book whilst eating a rice cracker.
Right, yes. Okay, I think we have to press the old grumpy copper now that he's changed the statement.
For him?
Yeah. Him. She was legendary, was she?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What did you say?
Oh shoot.
Ugh. That woman is still the best coroner in the land! Head of the forensic investigation team! Legendary was your description, sir, not mine. Rubbish! That word never passed my lips! I never described anybody that way, ever! Not if they were still in the game! I think the point you're trying to make is that Dr. Scythe is an extremely talented coroner, wouldn't that be fair? It would! If it weren't for the fact that you're trying to drag that legendary woman's reputation through the mud! I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that legendary. That's it? Okay, never mind, that was pointless. We'll do cop girl.
Hold it!
I've got to ask, why have you brought that coroner into court with you?
Colonel Cobb, he's been going back on the farm. Picked him up on me way back into town. He's a proper nibbler, he is.
I'm so confused. She's talking about a specific cob of corn, but then she's naming it, but she's switching cobs of corn that she's eating. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Yes, the nibbling seems to be taking quite a while. Maybe it could wait until after the trial.
Oh, I don't like the sound of it. You need colonels at times like this. Jeez. If I'm summit big to decide, the colonels always point me in the right direction, see?
You're talking about your cob of corn?
No. Nibble not be guilty, bubble. Nibble not guilty out.
Maybe she isn't.
Nibble not be guilty, hobble. Nibble
You
not
have to be
guilty
a
out.
juror.
No, they got that random Russian guy in here who's not clearly from London that one time.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I'm clearly saying nothing useful.
Perhaps it's akin to fortune telling with flower petals, like people do back home.
Professor Harebrain's fate is to be decided by a cob of corn.
Wait, go back to the history.
I think she was saying guilty, not guilty. Yeah, it's like flower picking.
Oh, guilty, not guilty.
Could you not at least wait until we've had more time to find the truth before deciding on the defendant's guilt?
Oh, I don't know about that. My tum's awfully full already.
Amazing. Okay, yep, all seen this. Okay, so we have all the information we need now. So we've changed this guy's statements, and we've changed,
That girl's
this guy's statements. So let's pitch this against someone. Alright.
Who is asking for more evidence? Earth? Oh, it's not Earth.
Yeah.
No, wait, because the
I would say
waxwork
it's
the
this.
man stole has nothing to do with the corner.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh, okay.
yeah, those just should be it.
Objection.
Those two statements are fundamentally at odds with one another. Well, Mr. Foreman,
There's to be a new Sherlock Holmes adventure published next month by the looks.
my lord, the foreman of the jury isn't listening.
Is that so? Well, I shall have to reserve myself a copy at the local newsagent in that case.
My lord, you aren't listening. Mr. Sato, no one is listening to what I'm saying. Oh,
Perhaps this would be a good opportunity to have a rethink then, Mr.
gee, that was
What?
wrong.
Lost. Fear not, friend. Fear not, friend. I heard every last sorry word.
Okay, I can't believe this guy's not pitted against.
Put him against the first
Oh
one.
wait, I fit him against the first guy.
Oh,
Oh, I think.
I don't think
Those two
he did.
statements are well listed. No, wait, no, that was no, not that's okay.
There's to
Never
be a
mind.
miserable.
For some reason, it's just that guy that talks. Okay. Okay.
Wait, go back. Up to
Oh,
Wait, yeah,
Her?
him and the corn cob girl. Accusing someone without right evidence.
sure.
there we go.
Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Oh,
Good gracious, to whose statement do you aver, counsel?
if you could put down your corn for just a moment, juror number 5.
Oh, you mean me?
You've pointed out that it's wrong to make an accusation without evidence, but the accusation that the waxwork model was inside the second birdcage on the day in question is not without supporting evidence, as the defense demonstrated to the juror deciding sitting beside you.
Oh, is that right?
Would it be fair to say you didn't follow the argument?
Didn't understand much besides corn or cob. to be honest.
Of course you don't.
If I could interject here.
Please do, sir.
Now that this assertion of yours about the waxwork has been backed up by some solid evidence, it would be wrong of me as a man of science to not pursue the matter further. Boom, bada boom, baby.
Good enough for me.
Ah, well, me too then.
Great. Sorry?
This Brady gentleman says he's right, then he must be. See, I wouldn't dream of going against Colonel Cobb or anyone who's got stuff in between their ears.
With the cob. It's that easy. Like dominoes, they fall. Success, if you can call it that.
Don't we need to get the majority?
Oh, we need 2 more, yeah. Oh, whoops. That was the last statement. Okay, so now we have to pit first guy with...
Against last guy. Or
Last.
first guy and second girl. No, first guy. No, maybe it's first guy and third guy.
Maybe.
Dave?
I guess.
I'll load this game. Yeah, I do.
I don't think it's the
I do that. I wouldn't do first guy. I
Fine.
do the third guy.
Yeah, it
Fifth
makes
guy.
most sense.
Or, I'm sorry, third guy and sixth. Objection! Nope, it didn't spell it.
Nope.
So 2 more that comp.
First guy, second
It
girl.
has to be this. Waxworks, nothing to corner. Oh, because this relates to corner, because she was a corner for the guy, the
Oh,
waxwork,
yeah.
the professor.
Objection!
It's because she was the corner for the person the waxwork actually was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what else to tell you.
Good
Oh,
gracious!
Because she obviously.
To
saw
whose
the
statements
bad
do
guy
you
and
refer,
waxwork.
counsel?
We're leaning too far back.
So, juror number 2.
Oh gosh, me? Well, what can I do for you?
I presume that you heard what juror number 6 said in his statement. It's brought to light the maiden name of the coroner, Dr. Scythe, which in turn has revealed a connection that wasn't apparent before.
Well, naturally, as a woman of society, I find such connections and relationships irresistible. But oh golly, I'm afraid I failed to see what you mean.
Dr. Seitz's maiden name is Stevens, and through that name, the coroner is very definitely linked to the waxwork of the killer. The defense has evidence to prove
You
it.
just present them now.
My goodness, evidence, you say? How utterly enthralling.
Also, the court cannot overlook that last remark. I very much hope there is substance to your claim.
Of course, my lord. I would ask the court to look at this. The evidence that clearly links
Yeah, it's
Dr.
this
Seitz to the mass murderer known as the Professor.
Take that!
I have here a certain autopsy report from 10 years ago.
A 10-year-old autopsy report? What relevance does that have?
It is, of course, from the autopsy of the person portrayed in the waxwork, the killer known as the Professor.
The professors? But the man was a capital offender, so...
That's right. This is the certification of death that was drawn up after the convict's execution. The identity of the killer was never made public, so the report gives few details, but what's important is the name of the coroner who wrote it. Courtney Stevens.
Oh my, Courtney Stevens!
Strike a light! It appears that the professor's autopsy was conducted by Dr. Seitz 10 years ago, and a few days ago that Mr. Drebber very deliberately stole the waxwork of the professor from Madame Two-Spells. A waxwork that doesn't in fact resemble the victim, Mr. Asman, at all.
And do you suppose there's some unsavory relationship between those events?
Absolutely, I'm sure of it. There's no doubt in my mind that the professor's case is at the heart of a link that we have yet to uncover between Dr. Courtney Seitz and Mr. Enoch Drebber.
Hidden links, mysterious connections, secret relationships. This is almost extraordinary. We're surely obliged to see how this plays out now.
Step closer.
I'm exactly on.
Explore this further, close. Quite right, we can't let this trial come to an end now. Not while there's this cloud of suspicion hanging over the yard's best corner. It wasn't like this in my day, but we're still here to uphold justice in the end.
Thank you, counsel, that will do. As a result of the summation examination, the jury's overall leaning is changed. 2 jurors now call guilty against 4 who call not guilty. Accordingly, the court has failed to reach a consensus at this time, and the trial must continue.
We did it.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. Another wonderful what?
Victory.
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 A waxwork of the despicable professor used as a body double for the victim in this quite extraordinary case. I must say it's extremely hard to believe the assertion could possibly be true. However, it would appear that it does at least warrant further investigation.
It's the waxwork of the professor that links Mr. Drebber and Dr. Seitz. And I'm convinced that there's a special significance to the link. I don't know what you're hoping to prove, lad. I really don't.
Truth, sir, by using evidence and testimony.
If the court is to delve deeper into the alleged involvement of the waxwork in this case, and the prosecution calls for the owner of the model to be summoned as a witness.
The owner?
Madame Two-Spells.
I really thought that Lord Van Zieks would object to this whole line of inquiry.
Very well, I concur. Make arrangements for Madame Two-Spells to appear as a witness with immediate effect.
Listen carefully, my learned friend.
Oh, yes.
You should know that you're on the brink of opening Pandora's box.
The court shall now adjourn for 45 minutes. During that time, the prosecution will summon the new witness and prepare her for taking the stand.
Madame Two-Spells, yes. I shall see to it at once, my lord. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da.
Perfect. With that, we'll resume in 45 days at the rate we've been going. 45.
We'll forget about everything and then we'll play.
All right. Thank you
Yvonne's
all
falling
for
asleep.
watching. Yep, she's already done for. Ugh. I'm glad we finally brought back Ace Attorney. You know, even though Ivana's done, brought everything out of her.
I'm just tired. I woke up early.
But hopefully now that we started it again, we can continue on, and it won't be too long for the next time we start playing the game again. But
next.
for now, at the very least, we'll see you guys next time. Well, that's not how way. Until next time. Then it's still weird to say see you guys next time, and then until next time.